I'm on the double.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown and Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Drive it down the lane, blocked by Ballo, grabbed out of the air by Love. Cats on the run. Love in a hurry, quickly down, feed it to Boswell. Pop a three out there, it is good. And Bobby Hurley really upset, out on the court right now. Timeout called with 16:18 to go. First half, Arizona 11, ASU 3.
A great senior day to you and welcome to March. Let the madness begin. The final home Saturday of the Arizona basketball season, and we have got a doubleheader for you today. It'll start with the fellas taking on the Oregon Ducks. Tip-off coming up at noon. It will end with the ladies facing the number 8 team in the country, the UCLA Bruins. That will be at 6 o'clock. A full day of basketball for you here at McKale Center as we honor the seniors on both of these clubs. 5 on the men's side, 3 on the women's side. And what will likely be, we say likely for some, their final game at McKale Center, because we are still in the COVID era of college athletics, which means that some people still have the option to come back. Will they do that is the question. Those are the big questions on the men's side, because I think actually all 5 of those guys that will walk today and be honored as seniors can come back next year if they so choose to. We'll have to, none of them apparently have made a decision on that. You will hear from them on that. On the ladies' side, however, only one of the 3 that will be honored today, Isis Bay, is eligible to come back next season. We will be seeing Esmeri Martinez and Helena Puello at McKale Center for the final time tonight against the UCLA Bruins. All right, it is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. I am David Kelly. I've got Kelvin Efon with me, the captain, 1998. J.W. Madden is also here. This is actually the final day for a while that we will all be together, as I'll be heading off to Las Vegas on Monday. We'll do the show here Monday in Tucson, and then I'll hit the road Monday evening to head up to Las Vegas. So we will begin our coverage of the Pac-12 tournaments from Las Vegas on Tuesday. Not completely sure exactly where we're going to be. They haven't finalized all of that on the Las Vegas end, but when we do, we'll let you know. I believe primarily we'll be around the MGM Grand Garden Arena during the Women's Week, and outside of or in an area near T-Mobile Arena for the Men's Week to follow. And, of course, just keep it tuned here to Wildcats Radio 1290, as well as all of our social media channels, as we update you on everything that will be happening over the course of the next 2 weeks in Las Vegas. If you are going to be there, we absolutely would love to see you and chat in person with as many Arizona Wildcats fans as we can do so. All right, let's give you an indication of what we've got coming up for you over the course of the next 3 hours of this program.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
We will review the victory in Tempe from Wednesday night. Wildcat men knocked off Arizona State. We'll preview the Oregon Ducks. Second time these 2 teams have gotten together this year. That's brought to you by Window Depot. Our spotlight on a cat. How about the walk-on senior? We were talking about walk-ons yesterday on DKL the Sports Tip. Grant Whiteman was in front of the microphone for the first time. We'll hear from the South Point Catholic state champion, straight ahead, as well as give you the Pac-12 scoreboard. Washington State kept pace, coming back to beat Southern California on Thursday night. Your best bets, U of A is a 13-point favorite this afternoon over the Oregon Ducks. And also, you will hear from the man who is going in to the Ring of Honor this afternoon, Kenny Lofton out of East Chicago, Indiana, and a 14-year Major League Baseball player, 6-time All-Star after he left the hardwood here at the U of A. You'll hear his. We had a chance to catch up with him this week, and you'll hear his comments on this honor that will be bestowed upon him today. First thoughts from our gang here. Kelvin Efon, Senior Day, final home game. A test in Oregon, a team that's come into Tucson before and shown that they can win on the road.
Well, first off, that Senior Day, man, that's it's tough for a lot of time for seniors, just to really look up and see that it's your last time playing at home. You're excited, but at the same time, it's just a sad moment. Your whole family is there, and you see your teammates sitting over there, and you guys are standing on the court, and it's just that the finality of it is just it's tough sometimes. So hopefully the guys get through that emotion and get right to the game. Do they do it after?
Before,
exactly.
It got to be before today,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So that's the emotions, before that game, exactly. Because after people will be leaving, so
and they got the women's game coming up pretty quick after that too. So.
Exactly that as well. But yeah, but besides that, Oregon, man, that's going to be a tough match. Again, Oregon is a team that's still trying to get some quality wins in that quad one. So that they're going to bring that. Altman is going to bring those guys down, and they're going to bring their max effort. And I still believe that the way that they played us at third place wasn't them. I didn't think they were connected, even though it wasn't a bad loss. I just still feel like that wasn't the best Oregon. So I think Arizona have to really watch out today for their best effort.
Yeah, in terms of Senior Day, the women will also conduct their event beforehand, which is off kilter for them. Normally, Adia will have Senior Day at the end of the game, but she will also do it before the game today. J-Dub, your initial thoughts on Senior Day?
Yeah, I mean, I never played, but I've seen a lot of them, and it seems to me, Kelvin, like it goes by fast for the players because you're so, caught up in your studies, you're caught up in your routine of getting to practice, getting up early and getting your workout in and all that stuff, and before you know it, you blink, and your 4 years have gone by, and you're sitting in there in McKale, and, someone's giving you a jersey that's framed, and that's when the emotions come out. I'm sure we'll hear this actual quote later, but I heard Pelle Larsson this week when he was asked about it, and he said that Red Blue hit him. Kelvin, he said it hit him at Red Blue. This is his last year, but it hasn't thought about it because he's just so focused and, tunnel vision on what they still got to do. He hasn't really thought about this being his last game, but I'm sure when those moments happen, especially those guys like Pella and Umar who've been here for 3 years on campus, felt that love from the fans. I'm sure it'll get emotional. That's the hardest thing. I've watched, Kelvin. I mean, I've never, like I said, never experienced it, but I've watched some players where that moment pregame, when you got your family out there, it's kind of, it's a struggle sometimes, or it's a challenge, should I say, to come back down from that high and that emotion to get back in and focus on the game. And the Ducks are coming in third in the conference, guys. This is a very good Ducks team that the Cats have to deal with today on Senior Day.
And I say it sucks, too, because we have 4 seniors. I mean, 5 with Whiteman, being a senior. I wonder if they're going to start him.
Yeah, well, we'll hear what he thinks about that coming up straight ahead. I'm putting him in the starting lineup for the end of the show just to let everybody know. So we'll see.
I hope he does. Yeah,
I would love to see it. I think we saw it obviously the other night in Tempe with Bobby Hurley Jr. getting the start under his dad for Senior Day, and I would hope Grant Whiteman is out there. How many players
start in a basketball game?
5.
And how many seniors are there?
5. There you go.
Make it work.
There you go. All right, Arizona knocked off the Arizona State Sun Devils 85-67 on Wednesday night in Tempe. Tommy Lloyd on that victory.
Well, we knew it was going to be a hard game. I'm happy we got out to a good start, and but we knew. I knew they were going to respond in the second half. But you're always thinking that as a coach. I was just hoping we could come out and hit first in the second half, and maybe extend our lead a little bit, and then just really test them. But it didn't happen that way, and I thought our guys did an incredible job of kind of managing a little bit of chaos in that second half.
Kylan Boswell led the way, 17 points on 7 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 4 from 3, 16 for Caleb Love in the game. 14 and 13 rebounds for Umar Ballo, his 7th straight double-double. Pella Larson had 12. Keyshawn Johnson, 10. All 5 starters in double figures, Tommy Lloyd.
Well, that's something we take pride in. And, we want to be able to not be a team that you can load up and focus on one guy. And to have different guys be able to score, it's really special. And, we talk about, like I said, our basketball, our shots, our effort is always far superior than my shot or your shot. And so, collectively we're better together. And we need to, down the stretch here and getting ready for the postseason. I mean, that needs to be reemphasized over and over and over.
It was a game in which the Wildcats got up to an early 18-point advantage. Arizona State cut that to just 14 points at the break. They would get it down to single digits on a number of occasions in the second half. In fact, getting as close as 2 possessions on at least 3 different occasions, but the Wildcats were able to survive that for an 18-point win. It was exactly the kind of game that Tommy Lloyd was looking for near the end of the year.
It felt like a close game for sure, and we need to be comfortable doing that, and you got to be able to find a way. And sometimes maybe it's a play call from me that works, and a lot of times that doesn't work. It's players finding solutions, and our guys did a good job of finding some solutions in a tough second half.
I think, guys, that's one of the toughest things to explain to maybe a casual fan. I don't know if that's the right term, but Kelvin, how do you explain to somebody that a 45-point win is not good?
well, what ends up happening is a 45-point win is an easy win, and anything easy isn't good most of the time. You want it tough because you expect to be able to win a championship, it's going to be tough. So if you had it easy the whole time, when it gets tough, first round knockout.
We've seen it,
which we've been around and we've went through that before.
And we've seen it so many times with those teams like St. Joe's and Gonzaga, sometimes some of the years where they just aren't challenged the last couple of months of the season because their conference doesn't have another team that can really give it to them. And then they get in the tournament, start seeing some challenge, and they haven't been in that situation in so long, Kelvin. It's tough to just flip that switch when you haven't seen any kind of adversity for a while. So even an 18-point win against ASU, like DK said, having them make that big run second half, having the crowd get back into it, all that stuff, the Cats had to deal with that.
Jaden Bradley brought energy off the bench for this team, scored 7 points on 3 of 6, grabbed 3 rebounds, had an assist, also had 2 steals, 1 steal that he turned into an and 1 at the other end of the floor. Impressive, says Tommy Lloyd.
He was great today. Him and Kylan, the combination of those two was exceptional. And, they both kind of had foul trouble, so we're kind of yin and yanging them a little bit at the game. And, JB ended up out there in that finishing lineup. And that's something I'm totally comfortable with. I mean, JB's a winner. And, he makes big plays, and I always know he's going to, and he's not scared of the moment.
How's he kind of developed as a passer over the last couple games? I mean, he seems to be seeing the floor a little bit.
Yeah,
better.
he's getting there. He's getting there for sure. Like he, playing in our systems maybe a little bit different. It just takes time. And for all of our guys, I still think, passing to me is a premium skill and something we work on and talk about a lot. But I also understand it takes some time to develop, and I've got to continue to coach it and pay attention to the detail and help him out.
And you heard him mention there that Jaden Bradley was on the floor at the end of the game. Him and Kylan Boswell playing together. We had not seen that a lot this year. Kylan Boswell being on the floor at the end with his fellow point guard.
I always feel like I play my best when I'm running the court with him. Me and him, great chemistry, just building throughout the year. I always watch him work out, hearing those stuff I like, I know stuff he likes. It only gets better from here, but I always feel like I play my best with JB.
What'd you guys think of those two on the floor at the end of the game?
I like it. J-Dub know me. I always like to have a couple ball handlers, especially at the end of the game. Both of those guys are good free throw shooters, good ball handlers, good passers. When you're at the end of the game, you want to be able to take care of the ball, and you want to be able to get into your offense. So having 2 of those guys on the floor that's aggressive with the ball, it only helps you, especially when you got Caleb Love over there as your 3rd guard and Larson as basically your 4. So you have all basically point guards, guys with point guard abilities in the game. So I would actually like to see more of it, and I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of it because, again, Boswell, he has those 2 guard attributes. He's a guy that can score the ball, and I think sometimes, and I have been saying that, the back doors or put them in catch and shoot situations. Well, the best way to do that is put them on the floor with a point guard that has a better understanding of finding them.
Yeah, I mean, just to keep it simple, if you put Kylan Boswell or Jaden Bradley on a team with less talent and they were selfish players, they would both be averaging 22 and 9 assists. I mean, that's who those two guys are. It just so happens that both those players are team. You could watch them play. They just make the right team play. You just heard Coach Lloyd talk about that, about it's all about we and we're trying to pass the ball around. I like the fact that when they're on the court together, guys, they're not hunting shot. Neither of those two guys, Kelvin, are looking to hunt a shot. They're just looking to take what the defense gives them. And two guards who are capable of scoring from the outside. Jaden Bradley, we haven't seen too much of his three-point shooting this year, but certainly he's capable of knocking that shot down. I think Boswell's got a really nice stroke from out there. A little mid-range pull-up stuff and getting to the cup. Bradley's got to the cup quite a bit last few weeks. When you got the three-level scoring and you're unselfish and you're a good passer and those two, that's your two guards, Kelvin, I mean, that's the ideal combo for me.
And I also think defensively, it's another notch up with the type of attitudes that both of those guys bring on the defensive end of the court, especially when our guy Boswell is locked in. When he's locked in, he's a top defender. And I think when you get into the tournament, when you're playing guard-heavy teams or teams that are going to play a lot of guards in those situations, having those guys already having some experience playing together is going to be huge.
Kylan Boswell in that game on Wednesday in Tempe, we mentioned 17 points on 7 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 4 from 3. He is averaging 12 points and 3 assists over the last 6 games. Tommy Lloyd this week after the game talked about him kind of the balance that he'd like to see with Kylan being an aggressive player at the offensive end.
I mean, I always want Kylan to be aggressive. I think Kylan's playing with two of the best playmaking wings in the country, and Caleb and Pella. So, when Kylan's out there, he doesn't necessarily need to dominate the ball. Kylan can get off the ball and then give it to one of those guys, and they can play in the actions. And then, Kylan's a great floor spacer, and when he's hunting, catch, and shoot shots, he's a really good player.
And it was interesting going back to the last thing that Coach said about, again, sometimes he calls a play, sometimes the guys have to figure it out. And that's kind of what we've seen this year. We've kind of harped on there's times when we would like to for him maybe to take more control, but he's clearly that kind of coach that's like, look, this is our system. You guys go out there and try to make it work within our system.
I mean, I'm not going to speak for the entire Arizona fan base, but there was a lot of frustration during the Miller years because every point guard would look over to coach and he would say, what are we running? What are we running? And that takes you out of your break, putting rim pressure on and getting those guards to get out and go and those secondary breaks. And a lot of that comes from just understanding the situation. And Coach Olson always did it best. And what I always heard about Coach Olson was you teach during the week, not during the game. So the players are already ready. They know what the system is. They know what they're supposed to be doing. And there's a freedom to that. And so obviously there's times you got to pull a guy like Kylan, who's 18 and a half years old, aside and say, maybe this next time let's try to get something going for Keshad. Let's try to do this. You got to get in their ear. But otherwise, Kelvin, you want those guards to have freedom because freedom within that offense and the pace that they're moving at, that's how you put so much rim pressure. What do you hear opposing coaches say? We got to slow those guys down. We can't let them get out, and that's because the guards have that freedom.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And one thing that that Coach Lloyd said was he really liked Kylan when he's hunting the catch and shoot. Okay? It's not the off the dribble, and when you catch it, put it immediately on the floor for a few dribbles and make your moves and then get your shot. It's that catch and shoot, which is, I always say, guys shoot a way better percentage off the catch and shoot when you're using your teammates to set you up. As far as what we was talking about, but that's what I was going. Good.
Guard freedom.
Guard freedom. Yes, as far as the guard freedom is concerned, I like the fast break initially. When it isn't there, I like to go into the secondary break. But if my secondary break isn't there, what we learned from Coach Olson, we run a play for our better player. Right? And then we play off of that, whatever happens after that. So kind of got 3 opportunities to get something good early. You look and see if you got a fast break and you got that opportunity, you take it. You got an open 3. If it's a guy that shoots those transition threes, he take it. But if it isn't there, we look for the secondary offense. That's if the break isn't there, you swing the ball around. You see a lot of that in this system. But in this system, they keep kind of playing free. With Coach Olson, we would run a play for Damon.
That's where's Damon at? Get Damon the ball.
Yeah, but it would be a play though. It wouldn't just be. I thought Damon was good in those instances, but I thought he was better when we ran a play and got him a shot off of some action.
All right, it is breakfast with the Wildcats this morning. Senior day in Tucson. Arizona men taking on Oregon. Arizona ladies against number 6 UCLA. We've got it all day for you. We're starting at 8 a.m. We won't get done until after 8 p.m. 12 full hours of basketball coverage for you right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's get our first break of that 12 hours of coverage in. We'll come back. We'll take our first look at the Oregon Ducks and where they have gone and come since the last time we saw them in Eugene. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show, and you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog in Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vail School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & K with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Whether you're preparing for a proposal, planning a getaway, or spending time with your special someone, don't let your knee, hip, and back pain become that annoying third wheel. The Good Feet Store's arch supports can help you live the life you love 2 feet at a time. And here's a bonus. They're HSA FSA eligible. Schedule your free fitting and test walk at goodfeet.com or just drop by your nearest store. Walk-ins are always welcome. Make 2024 the year of memorable moments, not aches.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is cooler here, and so pests are seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? University Termite and Pest Control has been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control for the past 50 years. You can too. University Termite and Pest Control. Find us online at bepestfree.com.
Most financial advisors I know have had a moment in their career where they thought, with more control, I would do things differently for my client's sake. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and our firm was created by advisors with the understanding that we need flexibility, control, and decision-making power to create the best experience for our clients. If you're an advisor interested in learning more about our growing firm, call me at 719-1433 to talk more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing always delivers excellence.
Great news. Free furnace season has been extended through the end of March. Have you been thinking about replacing your heating and cooling system this year? To spark business, we're giving away an 80% gas furnace or a heat pump air handler with the purchase of a new air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have zero interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 to book your free estimate today or visit rightwayac.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290. Our first look at today's Arizona men's basketball game is brought to you by The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com.
It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. I'm David Kelly, joined by Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden. We want to hear from you today. 520-848-1290 is the number. 520-848-1290. You can call us at that number. You can text the show at that number. You can interact with us on any of our social media platforms. Twitter is at Wildcats1290. Facebook at Wildcats Radio 1290. We're also broadcasting this show in Technicolor, as they used to say back in the day, on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch, and Twitter. You can find us on all of those platforms and watch the show today. In fact, Rich Carrillo has already checked in on Twitter. He says, "Happy Saturday, gents. What are Kelvin's memories of the old Mac Court in Eugene? I attended a game there once back in 2001. Mac Court was sweet." What do you remember about the old Mac Court there, Kelvin?
Well, the first thing I remember was the locker room. It was in a dungeon. It was like the walking up the stairs was so creepy. It felt like you could fall through. I'm going behind these 6'11", 6'10" guys. And I'm thinking like, yo, let me go first to make sure I don't end up falling through this floor. But, man, when you got up inside of there, it just was an old place, man. It was just like back out of the past, out of the 50s or something, it seemed like, man. It just was, and it was just loud. They're right on top of you. The students were right on top of you, very engaged in the game because it was Arizona, and I happened to be there with Damon Stoudemire, a kid that was from Portland who
So they
really
were happy
wanted
to see
go
the
to
Cats
school.
when you guys would come through. Pretty happy to see Damon and the Cats come through.
Yeah, so so it was always exciting to go up there. I always remember one time when after the game we went to a bar and these guys were trying to get Damon, and we all was together trying to make sure that they didn't mess with him. But no, man, it was always a great time going up to Oregon because every time it was was it Kenyon Wilkins, the little point guard that they had? It was just always a battle when we went up there.
1926.
Wow, that's when that opened or was built?
That's when it opened.
Wow.
December 1926.
That's a while ago, for sure. About going on 100 years right there. Well, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we've talked all season long. This could be the final meeting between these two teams. Right now, if the season ended, they would not be on the same side of the bracket in Las Vegas until potentially the championship game. Arizona right now sitting in the 1 spot. Oregon is sitting in the 3 spot. As of the moment. Of course, that is subject to change. There's a lot of a log jam in the middle of the conference between UCLA, California, Utah, Washington, and Arizona State could all potentially switch positions in that middle sector. But this is a game I wouldn't mind seeing again in the future. I mean, I know we've talked a lot about UCLA, and that's the big one that fans want to see. I would definitely put maybe Oregon on that top 3 list of teams I'd like to see U of A maybe potentially play in the future in a non-conference situation.
Yeah, sure. Oregon for sure. I mean, with just the brand of the Nike brand and just the history that we've had, against those guys, that is a game that I think, and Allman, especially if he's still around, he's always going to have some type of players there to make that where it's a game, where it's still one of those West Coast games. But I also would like to add a Gonzaga to it, which probably ain't going to happen because of the relationship with Lloyd and Few. But again, the Oregon game is one of those games. In the Pac-12, I would say UCLA, Oregon. I think after that, I don't know.
Used to be Stanford, It used to be Washington, but
I don't think I want to see Stanford anymore.
Yeah, like I said, I think Oregon. When I look at this list here, I mean, Oregon is really one of the only ones that jumps out at me of the teams that are leaving. That I think, in terms of basketball, that I would definitely.
So
like
just to put it in perspective, Arizona's won 3 out of the last 4, and they've also won 3 out of the last 10. So we always talk about the winning streaks that Arizona has against other teams, guys. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. 2018 to 2021, Oregon won all those games.
Yeah.
So I mean that's been Altman. We all know, but Altman's been the de facto best coach, Kelvin, in the conference going on. I mean, Cronin had a couple of arguments last few years, but to me, Dana Altman's the de facto best coach in the conference, has been for a while. So yeah, I mean, as long as they keep it going, that's a marquee program.
And I think that Nike relationship,
a
little something there.
Sure.
Maybe a little something.
All right, you heard that shot by Caleb Love at the top of the second. Caleb this week talking about this matchup with the Oregon Ducks.
Oregon's a great team. They're well coached. They got good players on their team, and we respect them as a whole. And obviously, it is our senior night, and we definitely don't. Our last game in McKale this season, you don't want to, leave on a bad note. So we're gonna do everything in our power to, get the win. And I know our team is ready. We've been, ready all year with, knowing the scout and preparing for each and every game. And I think obviously it's senior night, but I feel like, we're mature enough to, settle in, let the emotions settle in, and play the game like we've been playing all year.
Do you expect Oregon? I mean, obviously there's tons of different weapons on this team, but do you expect, especially after that game you had up there, do you expect they're going to try and do something different with you or anything defensively?
I'm not sure, but whatever we do, we got great guys on our team, and it's not just me on the team. We got killers everywhere. So you can stop me, but you can't stop everybody else. So we'll see.
Killers everywhere, says Caleb Love. Dana Altman on his keys to a win tonight or this afternoon for his club.
They've got great size, so we're really going to have to rebound the ball. We let Love just get going here. They got off to a fast start, and we never did catch them. They scored too many points, and we gave up too many easy ones. So, no, it's always a challenge down there, but we've had a little success down there. We got to go, but you can't let the crowd get into it. You can't give up 80, 90 points, and they're scoring like crazy at home, because they get the crowd going, they start running up and down, and we don't really necessarily want to do that, So we're going to have to make sure we get some stops and not give Love those easy looks that I thought we gave him at our place. And then Dante and KJ, Mo, we're going to have to rebound. Their size beats a lot of people up. And so we're just going to have to really do a great job. Everybody's going to have to rebound, and because we can't give them second shots. If they get a bunch of second shots, their offense is good enough with the first shot. You can't afford to give them seconds. So big challenge, but like I said, big opportunity. And so we just got to go swing away and see if we can make something happen.
Well, and one of the reasons I think we talk about, we would love to see this, at least from my standpoint, this series continue. Arizona leads at 54-37. I mean, it's been a relatively, as J-Dub said, it's been a relatively even series for the most part, and especially in recent years when you talk about these two teams. Well, Oregon is coming off a win on Thursday night. They played against their rivals. Actually, that was Wednesday night against their rivals, the Oregon State Beavers. They beat the Beavers 78-71. Kwame Evans Jr. in that game tied a career high. He had 22 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists in that game. He spoke afterward about what he thinks the Ducks need to do to be successful today here in Tucson.
Like always, Coach said, swing away. So we got to go in there with the mindset to swing away. Like we got to knock them out first. So just come in there with confidence. Don't worry about the crowd. Really play our game, execute offense, get stops on defense.
They won here 2 years ago by, by 2 points over the Wildcats. And again, this is an Oregon team right now that comes in at 19-9 overall, and they are sitting in third place in the Pac-12 conference with a chance to obviously make a move on Washington State. They're right now a game and a half behind the Cougars, but still 3 games left to go for this team. They'll play Arizona this week, and then they'll play the Rocky Mountain schools, and Dana Altman is looking at these last 3 games as an opportunity for his Ducks to put themselves where they need to be for Las Vegas.
We got a great opportunity here. We got 3 really good teams. They're all, Arizona's battling for a seed, and I think Utah and Colorado are making sure they get in, and we got 3 great opportunities here to try to finish strong, and it's going to be very difficult. Those guys that are playing a lot of minutes are going to have to really man up. We're going to have to get more out of Cario. Everybody's going to have to step up, and we're going to have to try to figure out a way to, get a very talented team in Arizona, and then very talented team in Colorado, and talented team in Utah. We got 3 really tough games, but as I told the team, those are 3 great opportunities. You play for this late in the season to, finish in the top 4 to try to get a bye, and try to make something happen with these 3 games, and then try to make something happen in the tournament. And can't change the past. We can't go back and change Alabama or Syracuse or Washington State at home or Arizona at home. We just got to go try to get the next one.
Indeed, last time around for these 2 teams, 87-78. Wildcats took it in Eugene back on January the 27th. Caleb Love, as you heard Coach say earlier, hit that first big shot, scored 36 points. That was the 36-point game. And, he hit that shot and went right after the student section at Oregon. And I think, again, when we talk about Senior Day and we talk about some of these guys that have only been here for a year, that's a young man who, again, I said this week, man, he's going to be a legend in this town. He'll only play here 1 year, but he could definitely cement a legendary status if he could take this program where it has not been in 23 years, and that is back to the Final Four.
Since we're previewing Oregon, a story came out yesterday, and speaking of seniors, in Fale Dante, did you hear about this?
No.
So it's not, I don't know, illegal is not the right word, but foreign-born players can't earn NIL money.
Correct.
Because they're on a visa. However, Fale Dante went home this last summer and earned NIL money while in Mali and is building his mom a 3-story house with that money. His dad passed when he was less than a year old. His mom, roasted peanuts to put him and his siblings through school and get him going. And he's using his NIL money to build his mom a house back home. So I just wanted to give a shout out because that story came out yesterday. Kudos to Mr. Dante. That's a really, obviously, you always hear stories, something like that. But when it comes about going back to Mali and they're coming from poverty and just, building that for his mom and his family, it's just really heartwarming to hear that story.
Yeah, what a tremendous player and Fale Dante is. He is going to be a load for Umar Balo. This is probably one of the best matchups of the bigs. Again, they're both from Mali, as you heard J-Dub mention, and Fale comes in here averaging 15 points and 8 rebounds per ball game, so just a little under that double-double that his counterpart on the other side is averaging, Umar Balo. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back. That is your first look at the Oregon Ducks.
That's been our first look at today's Arizona men's basketball game. Brought to you by The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindow.depot.com.
And don't forget, Window Depot also sponsors Arizona's top rebounding performance every night. It's the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Might be the Wildcat with the most rebounds. Might be the U of A star with the most impactful boards. We'll tell you the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game coming up tonight on the Meridian Wealth Management, or later this afternoon, the Meridian Wealth Management post-game show. It's Countdown to Tip-Off with J.W. Madden and Calvin Ifan. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
Hi, this is Joe Parsons, President and CEO of Parsons Steel and proud member of the Advisory Business Council of Meridian Wealth Management. As a longtime Tucsonan, professional rodeo cowboy, and businessman, I live my life on several core values and principles. Keep your promises, finish what you start. There's a line between right and wrong and nothing in between. Natalie Fernandez and her team at Meridian share those core values, and I'm very proud to know them. To learn more about Meridian, call 719-1433.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results team. When buying and selling really matter, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
The new Blue Whale Car Wash, formerly Octopus Car Wash, is now open. They're locally owned and operated and offer many ways for you to save. Start now by downloading the Blue Whale Car Wash app. Then visit their website at BlueWhaleCarWashAZ.com to find a location near you. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram and Facebook for even more savings. And for a limited time, their exterior-only wash is $5 at all 4 locations. Blue Whale Car Wash, proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
At Nova Home Loans, we believe everyone deserves the opportunity to enjoy the independence that comes with home ownership. Whether you're a first-time home buyer who needs down payment assistance, have less than perfect credit, or looking to refinance, Nova has a variety of home loan programs for your unique situation. Visit NovaHomeLoans.com or call 800-955-9125 to learn more. Not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Rates and available loan programs are subject to change without notice. NMLS 3087, BK 0902429, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Southern Arizona Radiology Associates have been dedicated to providing superior images and quality care for the last 35 years. They're the one you trust when you need an X-ray, CT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or MRI. They have locations in Tucson, Green Valley, and Sierra Vista. Ask your doctor to refer you to Southern Arizona Radiology Associates today. That's Southern Arizona Radiology Associates. Visit their website at sararadiology.com or call 520-335-6849 for more information.
This just in, Goodfellas AC is matching up to $2,000 on federal tax credit.
Whoa, seriously? This is unbelievable. I gotta call Floyd at Goodfellas.
Hello, Goodfellas. Floyd speaking.
Is it true about the $2,000?
It sure is. Homeowners like you may qualify for a 30% federal tax credit up to $2,000 on qualifying heat pumps. And Goodfellas will match the tax credit dollar for dollar up to $2,000. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Stop, swing left, his pass stolen away by Neal. Drives on Bradley, knocked away and stolen. Jaden with a huge play to get the ball back. Now the Wildcats with numbers, ahead to Boswell. Out to Bradley, drives to the bucket, laid up good, and he's fouled.
What a play by Jaden Bradley on both ends of the floor.
Our pregame show Spotlight on a Cat is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Keyshawn Johnson will be one of 5 seniors honored today at McKale Center on Senior Day. He needs just 18 points to reach 1,000 for his college career. That'll be a combined career from San Diego State and Arizona. Pella Larson, another senior, will enter today needing just 23 points to reach 1,000 for his Arizona career. He hit 1,000 for his total career earlier this season. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. Our spotlight today is going to be on the 5th Wildcat that will be honored today, and he is one of our own, Grant Whiteman, who played at South Point Catholic High School, won a state championship for the Lancers, and when they did so, I believe that was back in 2019, or I'm sorry, 2019. I'm sorry, 20. I think it was actually right before the pandemic that they won that state championship in 2020. It was the first state title in South Point Catholic history. Grant Whiteman scored 15 points in that championship game. I remember that game went to overtime that year up in, I believe they played at GCU that year, and the Lancers won. He was named the Class 4A Keno Region Offensive Player of the Year and first team All-State for that Lancer team. He averaged 16 points and 5 rebounds his senior year. He has played in 41 games here at the University of Arizona. He is one of the 5, and all 5 I mentioned at the top of the show have the option to come back next year because of the COVID 5th year. They could. This is Grant's 4th year with the program. And so we will have an opportunity to hear from him as he chatted with the media this week.
Obviously, being from Tucson, it's a dream of mine to come here and be able to do it. It's crazy it's coming to an end. Time flew by, really fast, but I've loved every minute being here.
One follow-up. Has Tommy said anything to you about possibly starting tomorrow?
No, he hasn't said anything. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. I'm more of a team guy than a me guy, so whatever he wants to do is fine.
Do you have an expectation based upon how it would break the streak of the starters who have started this year? Are you aware of that at all?
Yeah, I'm aware of it, but I don't really think about it.
Great. To follow up on Jason's questions, there is a culture around Arizona basketball. You guys talk about it as a team all the time, and what it means to Southern Arizona, what it means to Tucson. And you guys grow up playing basketball here and thinking about wearing the red and blue. How much does your journey, do you think, inspire guys in Tucson and the surrounding area to want to follow their dreams to play for the U of A?
Yeah, I think Tucson's not really known as a basketball city as much. And, I think there's a lot of kids that are obviously Arizona's basketball is the biggest thing in Tucson. So playing high school, playing AAU here, I think it shows me and Bigwell are kind of the first couple guys from Tucson to be able to come to Arizona to walk on. So I think it shows that it's possible, that, it's capable too.
Did you have a lot of basketball options coming out of high school?
Yeah, I had smaller schools and, other places to walk on, D2 and stuff, but I thought that this would be obviously the best option. It's been my dream to come here.
What do you consider your main role to be on a team? Like somebody who contributes to practice, or somebody who helps with film, or just being there if you're needed? What do you consider your main responsibility and role to be?
I'd say to help the guys out, with scout, be there for them off the court, support them. I obviously know, I'm not going to play in games and stuff like that, so I can do anything off the court and in practice to help the guys.
You were here for the last year of Sean Miller's time here. What, if anything, has been different about that? I know that was such a weird year because there were no fans or anything like that. Do you even have any memories of that year?
Yeah, obviously I loved that year and it was great memories, but it was different. We weren't allowed to go to the tournament. There were no fans. I'd definitely say just, when Tommy's here, guys are closer. The fans being here, I think, just brings a better aspect to playing here.
Did you play with any of Sean Miller's sons at South Point?
Yeah, I played with Braden. Yeah.
Did you know Sean Miller from that?
Yeah, and then my high school coach was Jim Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds' dad.
Yeah, when you reflect back on that freshman year, after having been here as a kid, and then you finally get out there, was it just, and then it's closed and cardboard and fans, and was it just, were you second guessing the whole experience, or did you figure it would ultimately become what it's been?
No, yeah, I was happy when I was here. I made some great friends, and it was different, but I think everywhere was different that year. So, but I knew it would work out then, and it has, luckily.
Would you say, now that you've been such a part of this program in 2 different eras, kind of like, has it been different than you thought as a kid growing up? Anything that you didn't realize going in, now that you've been through this experience?
No, I could just say that, you see the fans from a different angle when you're on the team, and how much they love the city and how much they love the team. And obviously, it's nice being here and you have your closest friends on the team, so that's something that I probably never would have expected.
All right, that was Grant Whiteman today. Actually, I'm sorry, that was yesterday, actually, at McKale Center, your spotlight on a cat. And one of the things with Grant is many people know he is the grandson of Paul Whiteman, and Paul Whiteman was one of Lute Olson's probably closest confidants here at the University of Arizona. So Grant Whiteman, somebody that grew up around this program, and like he mentioned there, had an opportunity to go almost anywhere. But when you grew up around this program, a dream to have an opportunity to wear that uniform, and he's done it.
Yeah, no, man, I know it has to be amazing for him going to school right down the road, right there at Sal Point, and then having the opportunity to play in Tucson. As he said, that's a lot of kids' dream in Tucson. So just to get that opportunity, whether it's as a walk-on that's participating in practice every day, people don't realize you really need the walk-ons in practice to help with having enough guys to scrimmage. Okay, you have the starters.
Adia knows.
Adia
knows.
Exactly. Yeah, you really need them, because sometimes you have injuries, sometimes you need to rest your guys, and you still need to be able to have a full practice. So those guys' jobs are very important.
Real quick, guys, we had a caller just call in, and she was asking when the specific start time is for the senior. And according to the U of A webpage, ArizonaWildcats.com, they say around 11:40. So I would assume you want to get there at least half an hour before tip if you want to make sure you're involved in those senior day activities.
And I'll correct myself. I said all of the seniors had a year left. Keyshawn Johnson, actually, this is his 5th year as he came here as a grad transfer. So the other 4 still have an opportunity to come back and play again if they so choose. But Keyshawn Johnson definitely done after this will be his final game at McKale Center.
I'll ask this question. What guy you think could benefit, or what guy of those 4, 3 really, I guess we could say, would benefit with coming back or would even think about it?
Ask me again in 4 weeks.
Right.
I think I'll say Umar, just because I think from a big man perspective, I think there's some things that he could definitely get better on. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Umar is, I wouldn't say he's NBA ready right now. I don't know that he's an NBA player today.
Really right now.
In the NBA, you said there's no position.
Now, here's the thing. There used to be you had to have a bunch of 7-foot, 300-pound guys to push on Shaq. But then that went away with Steph's era. But now with guys like Joker, like Umar is going to have to match up with guys like Giannis and people like that who get out on the perimeter and face you up, and you got to move your feet. And so that's the way the NBA works these days with bigs. But because Joker is so dominant, some teams are looking to have a big guy who can push on Joker. Not that you're going to ever stop that guy, but you do need some bigger bodies. The issue, obviously, is that almost how many bigs in the NBA don't have a 16 to 18, 20-footer?
Right.
So, I mean, as far as working on parts of your game and showing stuff, I have no doubt that he's definitely capable of playing professional ball for the next 15 years, wherever that may be. Guys who are going to come back to work on stuff, I think it's going to be more about unfinished business. We'll just see kind of how it goes the next 4 weeks or so. But these guys love Tucson so much, right? I mean, you could hear it when Umar and Pella and these guys talk about Tucson. So I think that's just TBD. And
I think the level of NIL we've seen for Umar, I think he is in that class of guy that I think it might be monetarily beneficial for him to come back and play here another year.
Yeah, for sure. I think money-wise, and it would be a great opportunity for him to come back with that NIL being in place. But who is it, Vazar?
Yeah.
He's already redshirting, and
Krivas.
And we have
and
Krivas.
Anderson.
You know,
Yeah,
and you got
right.
Anderson.
You forgot about Ryan Anderson.
Well, they were
Yeah.
meant to have like 4 7-footers on this.
Yeah, so it's a log jam. It's a log jam. So
It is.
when I think about it like that, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, those that's where Tommy will have to put his general manager hat on in the postseason and figure out exactly how to massage his roster moving
Kelvin likes
forward.
the 4 guard lineups. Maybe you just throw 4 center lineups out there.
The 4 big
Not
lineup.
this day and age. No way. Back in the day, I would go for it against Ralph Sampson, the new guy.
Because you might. I mean, Vasar and Morauskas can probably defend pretty well.
Well,
on
that's the
perimeter.
question. It's a very simple question. Who are you going to guard?
And
Who are you going
Anders-
to guard?
Yeah.
No, not against the guys they're gonna have to go against. I mean, we've seen it too many times. I mean, I still have nightmares of Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
I mean, their
All
point
of
guard was
them.
like 5'7".
East Tennessee State was the same. Buffalo was the same. Like all those teams, 6'5" to 6'7", 8 guys who are interchangeable and can get in rebound, all that
And
stuff.
they know that they can't. They know the mid-major schools. They already know we can't beat. Just like my AAU team, I can't beat you with size. It's not gonna happen. So my job is to force you to go small and do something you're not used to doing. And that's what a lot of these coaches are trying to do in the mid majors and in the low major is they're trying to put a mismatch to where we'll say, hey, and I'll tell you what I love. I love tall guys shooting threes. Now, if they can, okay, that's a problem. But most of the time they can't. And they love to do it when you give it to them. And that's how you end up beating them because my guards are better three-point shooters than your bigs. And that's what happens a lot of times in the tournament versus the Kentuckys, the team that have all these huge guys that can jump out the gym, sometimes against the Arizonas, that, you have number 1 picks and you get beat by teams that are saying, this is the way we have to play. We can't go big. So yeah, they're used to playing that way, and you have to figure out how do you play smaller teams. A big team have to figure that out. Am I going to go small? Or am I just going to try to use my size against you, which a lot of times it doesn't work because those teams get to knocking down those threes and you're getting twos. And, if you're not getting enough twos, it goes against you.
It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. Hour number 1 is in the books. Much more to come here as we take you up to 11 o'clock. Network coverage with Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen. Tip-Off Arizona and Oregon is at noon at McKale Center. It is Senior Day. With Kelvin Ifan, J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. Stay with us. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
That's today's Spotlight on a Cat has been brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet. This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog & Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot.
Frog & Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog & Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog & Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Spring is here and so are the allergies. I'm Janae Arenas, and if you're a mom like me, you're concerned about how clean the air is that your family is breathing. That's why we offer duct cleaning, aeroseal duct sealing, and air purification. Call us at Picture Rocks Cooling at 520-440-4069. Your family deserves to breathe clean, healthy air.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Old
Pueblo Harley-Davidson wants your bike. Call us or visit our website to schedule an appointment or stop by today to receive an inspection and an offer. Whether you're looking to trade in and trade up or just looking for some extra money, we're prepared to make you a tempting offer. Don't deal with the hassle of selling it to a stranger. We're here to make the process quick and easy. Only at Pueblo Harley-Davidson or online at PuebloHarley.com. Again, stop into Old Pueblo Harley-Davidson or online at OldPuebloHarley.com. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
Enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is cooler here, and so pests are seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? University Termite and Pest Control has been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control for the past 50 years. You can too. University Termite and Pest Control. Find us online at bepestfree.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way, and we all know that extreme heat comes next. Right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, 6 decades of service, and dozens of top shop awards, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. This month, get back big rebates on all your favorite major brand tires. Save more on the most affordable, long-lasting tires. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and money-saving coupons. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
Hour number 2 of the show, and we've got this coming up for you. We'll take a look at the Pac-12 scoreboard, brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Tell you the games that are on tap today. 4 games today, 1 game tomorrow. Our view from courtside will be with the man who is going into the Hall of Honor, the Ring of Honor tonight, Kenny Lofton, U of A guard of 1989. We'll let you hear our conversation with him. Best bets, the over-under on this game today is 158. That's on the Desert Diamond Sportsbook. Scouting report brought to you by Ram Plumbing. We'll hear more from Dana Altman and a couple of his players on what they think needs to happen for them to be successful here in Tucson today. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. We want to hear from you this morning. Breakfast with the Wildcats. If you've got your donut or your Danish or perhaps some bacon and eggs or whatever it is that you like to do for breakfast. J-Dub, what is your breakfast of choice?
Oh, man, it's tough. I've never really been a breakfast person just because I didn't grow up being a breakfast person, but I like making a nice, Sunday breakfast with just eggs and bacon, toast, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty normal in that respect. Bacon and eggs, or sausage and eggs, maybe some O'Brien potatoes
Sure.
mixed in with it right there. How about you, Kelvin?
Oh man! First of all, I like my fruit. You know what I'm saying? I like my oranges and apples, and I love some good oatmeal with some brown sugar in it.
Okay, you're real healthy
little
over there.
walnuts. Something like that. Every now and then, a little bacon. Every now and then.
What do you mean you're?
And I like pancakes.
What do you mean he's healthy? I mean, just look at him. He could step out there and probably get a couple of buckets right now.
Absolutely. All right, let's, again, it is senior day here today at McKale Center. Both the men and the women will be honoring their seniors. We'll hear from some of those youngsters today, beginning here with the fellas. Pella Larson is one of those seniors who will be honored today. And Pella came over from the University of Utah in his third season here with the Arizona Wildcats. And, man, let's hear some of Pella's highlights. How about that?
Off to Larson, drives to the bucket, it's good, and he's fouled. Caleb Love, excellent pass to Pella Larson, and he will go to the line.
Pella and one, love to see it.
We mentioned that he needs just 23 points today to reach the 1,000-point club here at Arizona. And Pella this week on if it has set in that this could be his last game at McKale Center.
For me personally, no, it hasn't really settled in. I haven't thought about it much. For me, it was more in the beginning of the season, like red, blue, and stuff. But now you're just so focused on the next game and the schemes that we put in and stuff like that you don't really have time to.
I got a quick question, DK, for Kelvin. We talked yesterday on the show about getting a little misty-eyed and what class or what seniors that might have been for the U of A fan base. Kelvin, from a player's perspective, going through all the work you do and obviously being so locked into what it is, I mean, does that creep up? Did you experience that, obviously, on the football side of things? But, I mean, from your experience being around all those guys on the basketball team and how they went through their process and then getting to that, senior experience, what was that like from that player perspective and what were those conversations like?
Man, it was, pretty emotional, man. I mean, your last time in McKale, your last time playing with your guys at home, we always was going to the tournament. So it kind of it didn't feel like it was over.
The finality wasn't there.
Right. The finality, like a lot of guys that aren't going to tournament. So, that's a different feeling, their last game there. So I think with our guys, you have those conversations, man, I can't believe it's over already, man. I can't believe the 4 years went by so fast. And most guys drop a tear or two now. You drop a tear or two. The emotion is there. I know in football, man, it took me a second to get myself together, man, because I couldn't believe it. You're thinking about, just all the moments that you've had here, and all of a sudden it's about to be over. And again, thank God that we had, bowl game to play in, or you never know how you would have really felt. But, I think when you're in a situation where you are going to play in postseason, it's a little different. But I guarantee you, though, that last game, DK, when you knocked out of the tournament, or hopefully you win a championship, but more than likely you're knocked out of the tournament, it takes a minute to get back. Hopefully you got some type of NBA or cross-seas aspirations so you can get right to that thinking. But, I've seen some guys go into a little depression, once it's just over.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the toughest dudes I ever saw put on a Wildcat jersey, and then you get your grandma out there at half court, make eye contact, and it's like, well, this grandma drove me to practice every morning at 6 a.m., and that whole thing, Kelvin.
I'll give you a quick story. Imagine this. So my mom and grandma weren't able to make a lot of games, maybe one before my senior year. And in my senior year, they get here, and the car broke down on the way in New Mexico, so I had to go get them from there. And then they were late. And then they were late to the senior.
Oh, wow.
And so they didn't get to come on the field with me.
Oh, man.
I mean, so I was kind of toe up. My brother was there, so that was hurt. But looking in the stands and mom and them didn't get to make it.
Yeah.
It was tough. But they were here.
Yeah.
They were in town.
Right. They did eventually get here.
Yes.
To support you, which is always great. And like we didn't know early in the week if anybody was going to be here to support Helena Puello, because obviously her family is from Spain, and she thought she was going to be walking out with Sam Thomas, who she played with for a number of years, and then they surprised her, her mom and her brother at the airport on Friday. So that,
Well, I hope U of A
or
has something to do
Thursday,
with that.
actually.
I hope
Yeah.
U of A has something to do with that. Because I always
Coach,
used to think about.
Coach said something about like telling her it was a recruit that they had to go pick up at the airport,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So like they tricked her saying we got to go pick up a recruit and walk them around campus, and it was her family.
Yeah,
Man, that's amazing, man. A lot of people. That's why I love the NIL. I heard you just say something about Ballo, being able to buy his mom a home, and it's been a lot of those stories. The same with the American kids, man. I mean, being able to help their families out and put their families in better situation. It's just amazing. I love the NIL, man. What I've been able to see. People giving back to the communities. It's just been amazing. I just love it what the kids have been doing with some of the NIL money.
And J-Dub mentioned our question of the day yesterday. I believe you can still vote on this. It's active until about 4 o'clock on our Twitter account at Wildcats Radio 1290. And the question was, who is that Arizona Wildcats basketball player, male or female, who got your eyes a little bit misty when he or she walked out onto the court on senior day? Lizzie Morose checks in. She said Kate Reese and Sam Thomas, without a doubt, cried like a baby. Kim Church says TJ McConnell when he walked out to the middle of the A on the court and kissed it.
I think Sam
Had
Thomas got
anybody done that? I mean, obviously, I'd not seen that done before he did it in my time here.
Right.
Had anybody done that before? Do you remember? J-Dub, you're the historian.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure. I don't remember that being anybody's thing, right? But I'm sure there might have been somebody way back in the day giving tribute. It would have been the cactus, right? I mean, there was a period of time where the big cactus was there in the middle. Real quick, though, I think Sam Thomas got 50 or 60% of the votes yesterday.
Yeah, pretty much.
What I said, Kelvin, was the Lofton Elliott Cook class. To me, like that class, 88, 89, best team I saw. But the building, as far as the building was concerned, it was Steve Kerr. Because when Steve Kerr's dad, was assassinated when he was a freshman, from that point on, the city of Tucson and McKale just adopted that guy. So when he played his last game in McKale, I think collectively that was the most emotional I saw McKale crowd be for a senior day.
And for me, it was Joseph Blair, Reggie Gary, who was it, Joe McLean, and Corey Williams senior year.
That was a great class.
Yeah, I had been with those guys a couple years and put in a lot of work with them, and just to see them and all the sacrifices that they made for the program, and just to see them, in their last year, that was emotional.
La Nina Azul on Twitter, need I say more? And she put up a picture of Umar Ballo with his right arm flex. Ann Dobler Diaz, TJ was the one that made her tear up. And our guy Doug checked in yesterday. He said, honestly, I've teared up for most of the guys on senior day, especially those who were here all 4 years. I can't single out a certain one. A tradition that I've had since 1988 is getting all of the seniors' signatures after the final home game. I've had to chase down more than one, Doug says. That's pretty cool to actually to go and try to get signatures on that actual day.
Just don't do it if you've got Brian Jeffries' media pass. Don't do that.
Exactly.
You hear that story,
Oh,
Kelvin?
God.
No. Shannon
from
Black
Kim
got
FM.
was that was for the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
For the Super Bowl.
No, not the Super Bowl. It was just it was a game. It was the Cowboys and the Cardinals
game up
Yeah.
in Phoenix, and Shannon Black got Brian Jeffries' pass and asked for an autograph, and they kicked her out of the locker room because it's a big no-no. You don't ask for autographs in the locker room. It was a funny story.
Doug goes on, it used to be easier before the remodel. Fans could hang out just outside the locker room and wait for the seniors to come out. A few dodged fans by taking the elevator, but I sprinted up to catch them, he says. Now we have to wait for them to come back to the stands or exit McKale Center. So those are just some of the stories of folks that chimed in yesterday. And again, you can head on over to Twitter at Wildcats1290 and tell us it's not a poll, but just kind of tell us who your person was that you did, and we'll try to read as many of those as we can before we are out of here today. Chris Hughes, another one on Facebook. Sam Thomas, Kate Reese, TJ McConnell, along with so many others over the years, he says. Pella Larson, again, came here from Utah, talked this week about that decision and why he picked Tommy Lloyd, a coach who had never been a head coach at this level.
Basically, just him being himself. Like the community here loves him because he is who he is. He's a honest guy, and you can tell that right away from the first couple conversations. And just the way that we play at Arizona is the biggest thing. Like it was a basketball decision at the end of the day, so everything was about basketball, and he had the right kind of way of thinking about it. And the guys that were here were already bought into it too. And I knew Omar was going to come too, and he's going to make some big steps. So it was all pieces coming together.
Wow, he apparently saw big things with Umar before a lot of us even really believed that and knew maybe who he was. Umar Ballo, again, has posted double-doubles in each of his last 8 games after going for 14 points and 13 rebounds in the game Wednesday against Arizona State. It's the longest double-double streak by a Pac-12 player since Washington State's Josh Hawkinson had a streak of 11 back in 2015 and 2016. We've been mentioning the Arizona record is 10 by Al Fleming back in 1974-75. Umar asked what he's going to miss most if today is his last game at McKale Center.
If tomorrow is your last game at McKale, what will you remember about playing here?
The fan, honestly, because I've seen them, rooting for us, like when we were low and when we were high. And if tomorrow is my last game, the one thing that I'm gonna miss will be, one more walkout of that tunnel, and then see the fans and how McKale be rocking, because this place is special.
So that's why people pick Umar as their favorite and the one that they're going to miss the most. I mean, clearly, he and Pella both have embraced this fan base from day one. So I think McKale loves players who play team ball, Kelvin, and who love Tucson and love the University of Arizona.
Well, and it's interesting just going back to what we talked about a little bit earlier, and I'm now really thinking about it over the course of the last 10 years. It's been those big guys because they stay. I mean, you think about Dusan Ristic, you think about Caleb Tarzuski, being among, I remember when Dusan went out there and just the ovations he got that day on senior day, because, again, those big men tend to stay maybe a little bit longer than some
the
of the
other guys, I think, who maybe don't stay 4 years but get that kind of love are the guys who crazy improve their games, Kelvin. So I remember guys like Jordan Hill who just had a crazy leap from freshman to sophomore year. When guys clearly put that work in, Kelvin, over the summer, because it's a very intelligent, very wise fan base. They've seen a lot of great basketball. So seeing players who really take it so seriously, Kelvin, and really want to do everything they can to help improve themselves, their own game, and then obviously help the program. Those are the guys I've seen who aren't here for 4 years who get the biggest ovations.
Yeah, definitely true.
Gabe, Parker Jackson Cartwright, Gabe York, a couple of others recently, senior day memories, emotional memories that come to mind.
JT.
Watching guys.
JT and Bramley. It was only 2 guys that year. Jason Terry and Bramley, man, after winning the national championship,
come
those
on.
guys coming back. Yeah.
That was a big ovation right there for sure.
It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show, and we've got much more straight ahead for you. We'll let you hear a little bit from the ladies seniors as well that will be honored today. Helena Puello as Mary Martinez, Isis Bay. They'll play tonight against number 8, UCLA. It is Countdown to Tip-Off. We've got J.W. Madden and Kelvin Ifan. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department.
What up, Tucson? This is Joseph Blair, former Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing always delivers excellence.
Great news! Free furnace season has been extended through the end of March. Have you been thinking about replacing your heating and cooling system this year? To spark business, we're giving away an 80% gas furnace or a heat pump air handler with the purchase of a new air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have zero interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 to book your free estimate today or visit rightwayac.com.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Experiencing the Sonoran Desert's natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rock & Kay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by nature, built for you. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic offers military discounts to retired and disabled veterans. And they now accept patients with excess insurance. For more information and to find the location nearest you, visit firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290. It's time now to take you down the front row of the arena. A view from courtside is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, celebrating 25 years serving Southern Arizona.
And our view from courtside today comes from the man who will see his name unveiled in the Ring of Honor today, Kenny Lofton. 17-year Major League Baseball career, 6-time All-Star, 4 Gold Gloves. That was after he had a 4-year basketball career here between 1986 and 1989 at the University of Arizona. Finished at the time as the career leader in steals with 200, recording 67 as a senior. That was a record that stood until 1997. He played in 128 games here at the University of Arizona. Finished with 618 points, over 300 assists, shooting 37% from the three-point line. Was on 3 Pac-12 regular season championship teams and 2 Pac-12 tournament title teams. So we had a chance to catch up with Kenny this week, and I asked him if he thought this would ever be an honor that would be bestowed upon him.
Wow, no, this is something that is a honor. It was a surprise to me, and just being a part of that class, being up in the Ring of Honor, I was lost for words when I found out.
So let me ask you, Kenny, because we have Kelvin Efon, who does a lot of our analysts on the basketball shows, and he came out of high school as a basketball football kid, started on the basketball team here, went over, decided to play football after he got here, and became a captain and on the best team in school history, 12-1. When you were coming out of high school, what baseball opportunities did you have, and why did you choose to play basketball instead here at the University of Arizona?
Well, first of all, when I went to visit Arizona, it was kind of a no-brainer. But the option of playing baseball and basketball, baseball wasn't given full scholarships, so that was the first thing that I knew that I had to go basketball because they was given a full scholarship because I couldn't afford to do a part-time baseball scholarship.
Yeah, and I think it's very similar to that right now. When you got here, I mean, we've heard just the stories about your leaping ability, the things that Kenny could do for a guy his size. When did you kind of develop that? How old were you when you realized you had the ability to kind of jump out of the gym?
I think I started my sophomore year, the summer of my sophomore year. That's when I knew I was able to really jump out the gym. And once I started, I didn't look back. It was one of those things to where I started jumping up in the air. Next thing I know, I was trying to touch the square. So it was one of those things at my height. And again, I just knew it was going to be something cool to be a part of, just to be able to dunk like that.
So who recruited you here? I mean, and what was your relationship like initially with Lute Olson?
Well, who recruited me was a coach named Kenny Burmeister. He was the person that recruited me, and then Luke came out to watch me play, and I guess they liked what they saw with my speed and my athletic ability.
What was it just like? You get here now, and obviously you're around all these incredibly talented players. Sean Elliott, probably one of the best players, if not the best player in school history. Anthony Cook's on those teams. Steve Kerr. I mean, what was it like kind of, ingratiating yourself into that culture as that program was starting to establish itself as the dominant program in the West?
Well, once I saw that, I knew we had the ability, and it's coming in as, like you said, Sean Elliott coming in as a freshman. We called him the mini Magic. But then we had, like you said, Sean, we had Anthony, Steve Kerr when I came in, and Tom Tolbert, Joe Turner. So it was just one of those things to where me playing basketball, I knew I didn't have to do a whole lot because those guys were just as talented in their own right. So I just felt like for me, I just needed to work on me doing my job as a point guard and just let them pretty much, do what they were going to do.
Kenny Lofton, U of A basketball class 1989 is our guest. He's going to be going into the Ring of Honor Saturday when the Wildcats take on the Oregon Ducks. What did it mean for you guys to clinch that first trip to the Final Four?
I think it was something that was brewing when I came in as a freshman. The talent was there. We just had to put it all together. And once we all understood our roles on the court, I think it was a no-brainer that we was gonna, to be a special team. And I think for them during that year, we ended up hitting number one, and that right there just kind of took all of our hearts and the state of Arizona, the city of Tucson, to see that now we have a number one ranked basketball team, on the court. And it was, again, the whole city was going crazy, and we were all excited about it.
They made T-shirts. I remember. I think I still have one of those T-shirts in a closet somewhere.
Well, we had T-shirts, and we had Harvey Mason putting down the wild end about the Cats, and it was everyone was wild about the Cats at that time.
Kenny, we play Wild About the Cats every single post game after wins this year, so we still got it rolling.
Nice again.
What do you remember about that? What do you remember about that whole process? And how did Harvey present that to the group?
Well, again, everyone knew Harvey because of his dad. He was all in the music, and Harvey was always doing stuff in the studio already. And for him to come out and say, we got this song, I want you guys to hear this. And once we heard it, and it was like, this is pretty cool. And he kind of put the flair with all the different guys, and the players had their own little thing of parts to it. It was just amazing Harvey to just have that thought up in his head and to put it out in the forefront.
Were you waxing any lines back in the days like that?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't waxing no lines, but I know I had my line that they told me to, pretty much, mine was, Ellie is here. It's time to play, And then Sean came back and said, they want me in the NBA.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So it was kind of ironic that it came out that way. And Sean just said they want me in the NBA, and they got him, and he got some championships.
Kenny Lofton, our guest. He's heading into the U of A Ring of Honor on Saturday with the Wildcats take on the Oregon Ducks. All right, Kenny, so your basketball career here ends. Everybody wants to know, so first of all, let's take one more step back. How often did you end up on the baseball field here as a Wildcat? Did you play in any games? I've heard stories that maybe you played in a few games while you were here. What was the actual extent of your baseball career here at U of A?
So the actual stint was I went out and worked out with the team, and some scouts saw me. But my actual little so-called playing on the team was because you have in a sense you have the varsity baseball, and then you had the JV, to where you played little JV games, and then they end up putting guys toward the varsity. So I didn't play I played JV games.
Okay.
But I had one official at bat on the varsity squad. After we went to the Final Four in '88, I went and worked out with the team, and that's kind of how I got that one official at bat.
So when the scouts kind of told you, okay, yeah, you might be able to do this, I mean, what were your thoughts? Did you think you were done with baseball at that point, or did you think it could be something eventually you might pick up again?
Well, I knew because, when I went out there, and then the scout name was I guess eventually Clark Chris.
Yeah.
He came to me and I said, hey, I am a basketball player. I got my scholarship in basketball, and that is my first obligation. And after that obligation, I can do what I need to do. And he said, well, you can end up playing summer baseball and then going back to school and finishing your senior year of basketball. And once he said that, I felt like I can do both of them, and I did that.
I was talking to your assistant, Nance, yesterday. I said, well, let Kenny know I covered him when he was playing in Cleveland. Also a lifelong Cleveland Indians fan, born in Cleveland. Watched you help that whole group bring baseball back in the early 90s. I guess to be a part of that, to go to a city that had been so starved for a baseball winner, and to be a part of a group with Albert Bell and Oral Hershiser and Carlos Baerga and Paul Sorrento and all those guys, to bring that level of winning back to a city that had been so longing for it. How do you look back on that part of your career now?
I mean, again, for me, I thought it was, I was very excited about what I did in my career. And for me to be part of programs, to start from almost nothing and get it to close to the top, or not even, close to the top, because we didn't win it all. I just felt like that was who I was. I was there to be a part of something that someone says, you guys are not going to be nothing or whatever. But I felt like myself and the other guys involved, we end up putting the program at pretty much the highest level it can go. And I was glad to be a part of that. And I think it was just a testament of who I am and the guys that we had around us to want to go out there and try to be the best.
When you when was the first time you climbed a wall to catch a baseball? And did you do that in the minor leagues, or did you get to the big leagues before you realized I could go up over this wall and bring this ball back into the ballpark?
Again, it's so funny because people don't. I've had so many of them, so I don't even know the first time. But I know in Cleveland, one of the first time was because at the old stadium, I robbed a few balls. So it's hard to really say when because every stadium was different. Some center field walls had a high wall, and some of them had some you can, pretty much go over it. But I knew me with my basketball skills. It was pretty much if a wall was close to 12 feet, I knew I can get pretty much that high.
Kenny, you think we'll ever see them bring back Slam Fest? I mean, you guys made that legendary. You and Ken Griffey and Barry Bonds and Deion Sanders.
And, Michael Conley. No, they're not going to bring that back, I don't think, because I don't think they will. But again, remember, I am the reigning champ of Foot Locker Slam Fest.
Because you won the last one, right?
I won the last one, and I have the trophy sitting at home. It's kind of big and heavy, too.
Just so you know, we all tuned in, us Tucsonans, every single one of those. I think there were like 5 or 6, and we were all – because, it had been a minute, Kenny, since we had seen you dunk, and we were all such big fans. So as far as Tucson was concerned, that Slam Fest, you had a lot of fans watching for sure.
No, I did. It was awesome. It was in Phoenix, and I had the crowd behind me. So, I had that whole Arizona crowd, and the other guys was like, man, Kenny got this crowd behind him. All he got to do is make his dunk. And the crowd went crazy. So it was cool.
Kenny, I know you were one of the guys that came in town a number of years back for the funeral of Dr. Gail Hopkins, longtime administrator at the university. Just speak on his legacy and what he meant to you.
Again, for us and me, again, being a player coming from the hood and didn't really have a father figure at the university, and I felt that, Dr. Hopkins was one of those father figures that helped us along the way, and he knew all we needed was just to get a little bit of chance. But a good thing about Dr. Hopkins, he got on our butts all the time, made sure we were in study hall, and we respected him because he treated us, again, like a father, and he came to us, he put us to the side, and he put his finger in our face, and he said this, and you respected that because he came at you like that, and he wanted you to do better. And I think everyone respected him for that because he cared about each and every one of the guys that went through McKale and went through study hall at McKale.
Kenny, before we let you go, just in terms of Sean Elliott, I mentioned earlier he's probably one of the best players, if not the best player in the history of this program. When you break down his game, what was so special about what he could do on the floor, and what did you most enjoy about playing with him specifically?
I think I enjoy, again, we all got on his defense. He didn't play as good a defense, but we said if you're going to play as good an offense as you do, and when you go one-on-one, it's a wrap for the whoever's defending him. So we was like, Sean, don't worry about defense. We will pick up the slack on defense. If you're going to keep balling like you do on the offensive side, we don't want you to get tired on for defense. We want you to be on top of your game for offense. And that's exactly what he did. And, again, I think we all told him that I think the reason why people couldn't defend you because they were scared of that big old brace you had on your leg.
So not only did you defend Sean Elliott in college, but you also defended Albert Bell in the big leagues. I would imagine it was the same conversation with him. It's like, Albert, don't worry about that ball in the gap. I got that. You just worry about going up to the plate and hitting home runs.
You said exactly right. I had Albert on one side and Manny on the other side. So I told them guys, they helped me get a gold glove because I told them just sit there and cover the lines. I got the gap.
And real quick, Kenny, what was the key? We didn't even talk about the fact the reason you're going in is because you're one of the best thieves in the history of Arizona basketball. What was the key to you getting all those steals back in the day?
Again, for me, it was all about being aggressive, and that was what I was all about. And I think having great instincts on the basketball court and reading the offensive players who got the ball and what they were trying to do. Again, it was all about anticipation, and I felt I had that knack for that.
All right, Kenny, hey, we can't wait to see you here this weekend. Safe travels over here from L.A. It's going to be a special day seeing your plaque unveiled in the rafters here at McKale Center.
Thank you. I'm just very excited to see what it's going to look like, and it's just an honor to be a part of that.
Kenny Lofton, Arizona basketball class of 1989. He is headed into the Ring of Honor.
Elliot's here. It's time to play. They want me in the NBA.
That's not bad right there. Elliot's here. It's time to play. That is awesome. Awesome stuff. You hear it after every win, and you'll continue to hear it after every win here as this season. Well, as long as I'm at this radio station, you'll hear it after every win for years to come for Arizona basketball.
We hope you enjoyed your view from courtside. It was brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, celebrating 25 years serving Southern Arizona. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown and Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way, and we all know that extreme heat comes next. Right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, 6 decades of service, and dozens of top shop awards, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. This month, get back big rebates on all your favorite major brand tires. Save more on the most affordable, long-lasting tires. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and money-saving coupons. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer looking for quality car parts in Tucson, look no further. Advance Auto Parts has 6 Tucson locations with over 75 years in business. Advance Auto Parts is the largest car parts retailer in the U.S., and customers know they can trust their products, like Die-Hard batteries. Now with free installation, only found at Advance Auto Parts stores. Take advantage of our same-day delivery and pickup. Just visit our website at stores.advanceautoparts.com. And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Advance Auto Parts, for all your car repair needs. Now a proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer-installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
At Standard Restaurant Supply, their vision and #1 goal is to improve the lives of their customers and clients by providing a better culinary experience. Standard Restaurant Supply, if it's in a restaurant and not food, they have it. Open to the public, no membership fees, and they offer bulk store pricing without the bulk store purchase. Open Monday through Saturday at 601 South Cherry Avenue or call 885-2345. Standard Restaurant Supply is a proud sponsor of the U of A Radio Sports broadcast.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
Are you ready to adopt?
Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290. The Pac-12 scoreboard is brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
All right, let's go back to what happened on Thursday night in the Pac-12 Conference. Wildcats played on Wednesday. Washington State, we mentioned, number 19 in the country, came from double digits down to beat Southern California at home 75-72, so they stay a half game behind Arizona in the Pac-12 Conference. Utah all over Stanford, 90-68. The Utes are 8-9. Stanford falls to 7-11. And this was maybe the shocker of the night. Washington blew out UCLA in Seattle 94-77.
Mick was not a happy boy.
Not happy at all. Braxton Mia, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 5 block shots in that game. Washington 8-10, UCLA 9-8. There will be 4 games on the docket today in the Pac-12. The game here in Tucson will be the first to tip off. The next game after that at 2 o'clock will be in Seattle, Washington against Southern California. Then at 5 o'clock in Pullman, it'll be the Cougars taking on UCLA. So that'll be an interesting game there to see if the Cougars can hold court against the LA schools and set up what will be an interesting final game for themselves against their rivals Thursday. So we will likely know the champion of the Pac-12 Conference on Thursday night when Washington State hosts Washington and the Wildcats play at UCLA. California is at Utah this evening. The Bears are 9-9. The Utes are 8-9. And I mentioned there is one game on Sunday this week. Stanford is on the road at Colorado. The Buffaloes coming in right now at 10-7 in conference play. It is obviously early, so there are no top 25 games in progress as of the moment, but we have several top 25 matchups today across the board. Number 24, Florida will take on number 18, South Carolina. The Gamecocks 11-4 in the SEC. The Gators come in at 10-5 in conference play. A pair of 9-6 teams in the Big 12 is number 7, Kansas is on the road at Foster Pavilion, the brand new spanking new Foster Pavilion in Waco, to take on the Baylor Bears as we look ahead to our Big 12 future.
Real quick, did you hear, if you've seen the SEC standings, there's a chance they could have a 6-way tie for first.
Wow.
Because all 6 teams, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, Auburn, Florida, Kentucky, are all within striking distance of getting to that top line spot. So if it goes the right direction, we could have a crazy tie up there at the top of the SEC.
That would be crazy for sure. And
they all will put a, what you call a banner up in their gym, right?
Yeah, champs. We're all the champs.
Marquette, number 5 in the country, is at number 12, Creighton today. The Marquette is 13-4. And Creighton is 12-6 in the Big East. Those are the only games involving, actually, there is two more games involving ranked opponents. Number 4, Tennessee at 12-3 in the SEC, as you just were saying, is at number 14, Alabama, who is 12-3 in the SEC. So that'll be a big ball game there. Also out west in the West Coast Conference, number 23, Gonzaga, is 13-2. They are on the road at number 17, St. Mary's. St. Mary's is 15-0 in West Coast Conference play this year.
Very underrated rivalry, those two teams.
Purdue is in action tonight. They're number 2. They will host Michigan State. The Spartans, who we played earlier in the year, are just 9-8 in the Big 10, I should say. Purdue is 14-3. And the number 1 team in the country is also on the floor tonight as Kelvin Sampson goes back to Norman with the top-ranked Cougars, who are 25-3 and 12-3, and they will face the Oklahoma Sooners, who are 7-8 this year in Big 12 play. That is a look at your scoreboard.
That's been the Pac-12 Scoreboard, brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
Arizona softball lost last night in their game to Alabama 2-1. It was a game that ended somewhat controversially down in Tuscaloosa. Imagine that. On a bang-bang play at first in which the Wildcats batter was called out on a very close play. We'll get into that maybe a little bit later if we have an opportunity. Ladies will be back in action against Alabama again today on the road. All right, let's hear from the Wildcat seniors. And as they talked yesterday on what they have taken away from their time at the University of Arizona.
I'll say the culture. For one thing, the culture here is second to none. What Coach Lloyd has done with this team as far as building us and bringing us together, working on our culture each and every day. As far as, just when we went to Israel, our foreign trip, I think that really brought us together and we really got to know each other personally. And then from then on, we've just been, close and tight. And then just another thing, just like how much we love each other and care for each other's success. You see, we happy for, each and every one of our success, and, we want each and every one of us to succeed. So I just think that's big, and as far as this team, because, I think that's going to take us a long way, us being so close.
That was Caleb Love there.
Talked a little, or referred a little bit, but yeah, what about you? Again, so many years at San Diego State, but what's this 1 year here kind of done for you, would you say, looking back at this point?
Most of all, it's the diversity. The diversity on this team is it's kind of wild. Everybody from different places, but we all gel together well. And like Caleb said, the culture. Whether it's from between us, all the guys building together from scratch, or it's from the longevity of the alumni coming in and talking to us and just educating us on what they went through and like what Arizona and Tucson mean to them. So just overall, just the authenticity of just Arizona basketball, Arizona sports in general, what the Block A means. So I would say, like Caleb said, it's second to none. Nobody in the world.
Keyshawn Johnson speaking there.
You guys, you've been here 3 years, of course. What's kind of your biggest takeaway about here, either on or off the court? Really?
Yeah, I think 3 years from when you're 19, 20 years old is like probably some of the most impactful years in your life. And so I think it's just shaped us as men for the future and how you act and carry yourself and how you treat others. And honestly, Arizona and the guys that I play with have taken my love for basketball to a whole nother level. So I'm forever grateful and forever in debt to this place.
Pelle Larson.
Same thing, honestly. When I left Gonzaga, I didn't know much about basketball that much, But when I came here, I see the fan, I see how the city was behind us, and then that also took my basketball to another level. And coaching staff helping me take care of myself as a person and then as a basketball player. That helped me a lot, and I'm grateful for this city. I'm grateful for Arizona basketball.
Umar Ballo. And those are your seniors talking about their takeaways from their time here at the University of Arizona. Caleb Love, Keyshawn Johnson, Pelle Larson, and Umar Ballo, the primary four of that play for Tommy Lloyd. Let's find out right now who that duck could be that might just get under the Wildcats' skin today.
Who is today's Pest of the Game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Check them out at BePestFree.com.
All right, well, we heard a little bit from the head coach of the Oregon Ducks a little bit earlier, Dana Altman, and he shouted out a guy that he wants to see maybe a little bit more from. So I'm going to make that guy my Pest of the Game. and that is Cario Akindo. And he comes off the bench primarily for this club. He scores about 8 points, only grabs about 3 rebounds a game, but obviously a guy that can bring energy. And when he's playing well, I would imagine the Ducks are playing well. So Cario Akindo is going to be my pest of the game, the 6'4 senior out of Titusville, Florida, by way of Florida Southwest Community College, by way of Georgia. So Cario on his third team.
That's what Dana Altman does.
Find him.
Kelvin?
My guy's going to be Jordan Shellestad. I feel like that when he's shooting the
Jackson
ball.
Shellestad?
Jackson. I said, ooh. Jackson. Okay. Jackson Jordan. Okay. And I just feel like when he's shooting the ball well from 3, they just a different team. I think they really need him to play well to complement those big guys inside.
Also, a freshman, so like he doesn't know any better, right?
Right.
I'll go with Jermaine Couisnard because if you look at his stretch recently, guys, I mean, he's really been putting the ball in the basket. 16, 19, 5, 13, 16, 27. That's his last 6 games. And he's a guy. I look at the pest, to me, especially in this building, anybody who can get you points and get that, that snowball rolling, that can be a problem because a lot of guys will feed off of that confidence. So that's a guy you look out for.
Jermaine Couisnard, a 5th-year guy out of South Carolina.
Yeah, he kind of has that Caleb Love in him where he doesn't have any fear of going for it.
No.
I mean, and he's a guy that he's a guy we definitely have to worry about today.
Yeah, the other big issue with him is he really gets to the line. So, he creates contact, 133 free throws this year. So definitely got to watch out for him getting in the paint.
And also from East Chicago, Indiana, Jermaine Couisnard, the same hometown of one Kenny Lofton. Although they went to separate high schools, Jermaine Couisnard went to Central High School, and Kenny Lofton went to Washington High in East Chicago, Indiana, back in the day. Going to be good, too. I'm sure they'll maybe dap each other up if they see each other. You got to always stay with your hometown guys.
Represent the neighborhood,
sure.
right?
That's right. All right. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. That is 2 hours in the books. We've got 1 more hour to go with you, and we will have much more to come as we get you set for Arizona and the Oregon Ducks. But that for right now is our pest of the game, our pests of the game.
That's today's Pest of the Game. The Pest of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Visit BePestFree.com. This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
What up, Tucson? This is Joseph Blair, former Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing always delivers excellence.
Great news. Free furnace season has been extended through the end of March. Have you been thinking about replacing your heating and cooling system this year? To spark business, we're giving away an 80% gas furnace or a heat pump air handler with the purchase of a new air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have zero interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 to book your free estimate today or visit rightwayac.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & Kay is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in-ready homes and special incentives. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live. When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
High left, 6 to shoot. Boswell, top Johnson, open three. High up the rim, no good. Follow the offensive rebound and lays it in. Just snuck right in front of Phillips. Got the board in two.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
Final hour of the program leading into Arizona and Oregon. Umar Ballo needs just one rebound today to become the 13th player in Arizona men's basketball history with a career of 1,000 points and 750 rebounds in an Arizona uniform. The last Wildcat to reach that milestone was Caleb Tarczewski back in 2016. Coming up on this final hour of the program, we'll get into our best bets. Arizona is a 13-point favorite today. The over-under is 158. We'll hear from Dana Altman on his team as they come in here. KJ Evans has been hot. You'll hear from him as well as Brennan Rigsby on his improved defensive play. Will get you your keys to the game, your starting lineups. Will it be an all senior lineup? Will it be a different lineup for the first time this season on senior day? It has been the same five for all of the games to this point. Caleb Love, Kylan Boswell, Pella Larson, Keyshawn Johnson, and Umar Ballo. But will Kylan come out today and Grant Whiteman, the senior, be inserted to start for Tommy Lloyd? we shall see. Senior Day, they will honor the seniors before the game. Our guy Doug actually has a poll up right now. He asked for our opinions on this. Should Senior Day ceremonies be held before the game or after the game? We talked a little bit about that at the top of the show, but not necessarily our preference on when we like to see it. I have not voted in Doug's poll yet, but I'm going to vote right now. I prefer it before the game because I just think it's, there's a lot of different things and emotions after the game. You lose the game and maybe people are not as happy. I just think you get it all out of the way before the game and then you go play the game and you don't have to worry about anything after and how people feel after the game, whether you win or you lose.
As a player, I would rather after. Because of them emotions, man, it's tough, man, to get over and then get to the game. So I kind of would rather after. But as a fan, I would think before, right? Because you wouldn't want because usually after the game, people's trying to get out of there, trying to get home or whatnot like that. So, but as a player, man, you just those emotions sometimes are just overwhelming, and it takes some time to gather them back together, and you would hate to catch an L because of that. I wonder what is, because I know for sure I used to love beating people on their senior night of homecoming. Senior night of homecoming, I'm trying to see your home feeling it. I'm trying to
wipe the
make
smiles
you feel
off that grandma's face.
Life. Every time I see you, you be like, hey, I remember that day. So yeah, man, that extra incentive to beat somebody on, if I'm Oregon, I'm like, oh yeah? Oh, y'all pick my day? And they don't pick it. You just happen to be the last game at home. Yeah. But to me, I'm going to take it, and I always, motivated my players and told my teammates, like, they picked us. They picked us to be their homecoming, or they picked us to be their senior night, so let's give them what they asked for.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm all about nuance, and it's all in a vacuum, maybe after would be better, obviously, as Kelvin said, for players before. I just think if you're talking about, it comes down to this. It comes down to how many seniors, right? Because you're talking about how much time it takes to get players out there, have the families come out there and all that stuff. So in a situation like this, you got 5 seniors, probably best after, and also tip time, right? Because if the tip's at 7 p.m., Kelvin, and you're talking about senior day after, and you're asking the older McKale crowd to stay at 9:30 to do senior night, that's different. But if it's a tip-off at noon like this, I don't mind after. It just so happens today you got a double header. So you got the women's game afterwards. It's just logistically makes more sense, I think, in this case, to have it before.
I think from a fan standpoint, though, I like it before. I think it's better if you do it before. If I'm a fan going to the game, I think for me personally, I would rather have it after, just because now I got to change. If I have the same routine for going to the games, now I got to, maybe I don't get there early. Maybe I get there 10, 15 minutes before tip-off. Now if I feel like I got to get there and change my schedule versus I'm already there in the building, if I'm staying for the whole game, which most real sports fans do, then it's probably a better thing after if I'm an actual fan. But
they're going to stay. I mean, we're talking about Pella and Umar. Like those two guys alone, right? They're just they're so lovable. And so, the fans are going to show out for those guys especially.
So head on over to Doug in Tucson on Twitter and vote in his poll. Right now, 51%. It's pretty even. 51% saying before tip-off. So it's all over the board in that respect. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd, the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats. He spoke on his program earlier this week with Brian Jeffries about his seniors.
It's always a special day anytime seniors are playing their last home game. And for this set here, there's some great stories. You've got 5 players, managers as well. 2 of the players have come in this year. We've talked about them, and Keisha Johnson and Caleb Love. 2 guys have been here for a couple of years now, and Pella Larson, Umar Ballo, and of course Grant Whiteman, a local young man, South Point High School. And I think if I looked right, he's played in 40 games over his career, and just a great addition to your roster. So take us through the seniors here and what they've met.
Well, your seniors are always kind of the bedrock foundation of your program, and these guys are awesome. And it's literally, you're right, it's a modern day, college basketball group of seniors. A walk-on from the local area, and I think all the rest are transfers, right?
Yeah.
All the rest are transfers. So, but transfers in different circumstances, different points of their career. Grant's been awesome. I mean, he's basically like the Whiteman family, and what they've meant to the program over the years is, we're going back, to Paul being, Lute's best friend, and so they've obviously been very close to the program and just supported it in so many ways over the years. But to watch Grant come, and he's not just, it wasn't a gift. Grant's a really good player. And, to be honest with you, the conversations that Grant and I've had is he has 1 year to play, and he wants to go play somewhere next year.
Okay.
So he's a really good player and helps us in practice so much. And he's physical, he's aggressive. He's gotten to the point where he can make shots. He takes pride in making hard shots and getting our guys all frustrated. So that's been great to watch him kind of grow up as a young man. And, in my 3 years here, and I have a ton of fun being around him. Keyshawn. Keyshawn comes to us from San Diego State, where, he had a really probably a great 4-year career there. He was a role player there, but ended up being a high-level role player that served a winning team. But he's probably that kid that came to college. He was probably 6'5", skinny, and just kept continuing to grow and develop. And he took advantage of that 5th year. I mean, he's the only 5th-year guy we have, so he really took advantage of that, and he's getting to kind of really show what he's capable of as more of an offensive player. I think he's probably averaging career highs in every statistical category, I would imagine. Yeah. That's been cool. Caleb kind of came to us at the end, and came to us, and I don't know, it's not controversial for me, but maybe it was, because he kind of became a lightning rod in social media and all that stuff, and just to watch him be able to come here and kind of resurrect his career and put it back on track. And man, he's a special player, and I know Tucson loves him as much as we all do. Big O, Big O and I go back a long ways, and it's been really fun for me to watch a young man really struggle, and maybe a little bit of it was situational, and maybe a little bit of it was self-inflicted, but for him to battle through all that and come out the other end. I mean, he's playing so good right now, and his character's so high that it's been really cool to watch. And I don't think I'll ever forget it. But it's funny as you keep going and coaching. You kind of you get away from it unless you bring your mind back to it. But he's having the same impact for us that back in the day, you guys see our big GA Shimek Karnowski had for Gonzaga, which is the biggest, strongest guy on the floor, and that really adds to winning. So all in all, a great group, and I hope to play with them for quite a while longer.
That is Tommy Lloyd on his seniors, talking about Grant Whiteman and Pella Larson, Umar Balo, Keyshawn Johnson, Caleb Love. Speaking of walk-ons, maybe one of the more famous walk-ons in the history of the Arizona basketball program will be in the building today on the broadcast, as Josh Pastner will partner with the voice of the Arizona Cardinals, Dave Pasch, today for the call of this game, as it will air on the ESPN networks.
Now, how did that work? Because he originally got a scholarship.
Oh, did he?
He came here on scholarship.
Oh, okay.
And guess
I
how
thought
I
he was
know?
a walk-on.
I'm gonna tell you how I know.
Oh, because he got
my scholarship.
Right. Yeah.
When I went
yeah.
to football, there was a scholarship still available, and Josh got that scholarship.
So he got it after, but he came as a walk-on.
No. He got it that season.
Oh, okay.
Yes. No, he came in and then he ended up switching back to a walk-on. He did the next year, I think, or so.
Okay. Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. All times of good stories there.
Preferred, right?
Preferred.
Something like that.
All right. Chance for you to get in on the program still today, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. We are also brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the best place to eat, drink, and play while watching this afternoon's game between the Wildcats and the Oregon Ducks. So let's find out if we can win some money on this game today.
Tucson, what are some of today's best bets? Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at some of today's best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, it's tight. I have a one game lead on J-Dub, 2 up on Kelvin through 28 games this season. The Wildcats were a 12-point favorite at Arizona State. They are a 13-point favorite today. It's a very similar line to what we saw. And the over-under is 158. Gentlemen, Arizona by 13. We'll start with Kelvin.
13.
Whew, 13. You know what? I think at home senior night, I'm gonna take 13. I think Arizona get it done.
Yeah, I think it might be a struggle a bit at the start, but I agree. I think at the end of the day, Cats win by 15 points.
Wow, I don't know. I just something tells me this is going to be a close game today. I don't know why I'm feeling that right now, but I am.
What's a good Oregon team?
Yeah, so I'm going to take Oregon in the 13 there today.
Sounds good.
All right, over under 158. I think I'm going to go over.
Over?
Yeah, it was just slightly under the other night in Tempe.
Yeah, I'm going over as well.
Over.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon's not a great offensive team, but in that building, I just think they might get caught up in the pace a little bit. So, yeah, I'll go over.
All right, so it is over for everyone. Kelvin and J-Dub are taking Arizona and laying the 13. DK is taking Oregon and will pocket that 13. We'll see how it plays out tonight on the big board.
Those are today's best bets. They are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Arizona and Oregon. It's a 12 noon tip-off today at McKale Center. Arizona enters the game averaging 90 points per game. That is the second most in the country. Number one is a team they beat earlier in the year, Alabama, who averages 92 points per ball game. Today will mark the 12th sellout of the season at McKale Center for the home finale. It cements the 39th straight season that Arizona has led the Pac-12 in attendance. So applause to all of you out there who have made that happen. All right, it is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. We've got much more to come for you. We're going to hear from Dana Altman on his club. We will also hear from the seniors on the Arizona women's side straight ahead as Mary Martinez, Helena Puello, and Isis Bay as they get set for their game tonight against the number 8 team in the country, the UCLA Bruins. We will come back after this timeout with Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is cooler here, and so pests are seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? University Termite and Pest Control has been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control for the past 50 years. You can too. University Termite and Pest Control. Find us online at bepestfree.com.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
You want to protect her. You'll give anything to make sure nothing harms her. Every minute together makes unforgettable memories. Except that time you parked her under that tree and...
Oh, come on, man. Really?
Sorry, we'll never speak of it again. But remember who came to her rescue? Recon Auto Detailing. Arizona's premier auto detailing company comes directly to you. We'll make your masterpiece shine like it should, and with a monthly maintenance package, we'll keep it that way. Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Broadway in Tucson presents the Rockin' 2023-2024 season featuring 8 blockbuster productions including Disney's Aladdin, The Book of Mormon, Hairspray, and Chicago. Enjoy the Southern Arizona musical premieres of Tina, the Tina Turner musical, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Time of the Temptations, MJ the Musical, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Secure your choice season tickets today and get the ultimate in flexibility and the lowest prices all season. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your season tickets today.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
High left, 6 to shoot. Boswell, top Johnson, open 3, high off the rim, no good. Follow the offensive rebound and lays it in.
Umar Ballo trying to get to that 1,750 club today. We mentioned he's averaging 13 points and 10 rebounds this season, so averaging a double-double. 14 double-doubles this year, 28 on his career. And he has scored in double figures in 25 of 28 games. His career field goal percentage of 64% is currently the best in Arizona basketball history. All right, we mentioned there are 5 seniors today for Arizona. Now, 4 of those seniors, Sans Keyshawn Johnson, can come back next year if they so choose to exercise their COVID option and play that 5th season. They were asked this week if they intend to do so.
Potentially another year of eligibility. Have any of you made a definitive decision what you plan on doing after this year?
Nope. No. No. I've been focused on winning the championship. We all been focused on winning the championship.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure yet.
That's why I said ask me again in 3 or 4 weeks. I think a lot of those decisions are going to be made based on what happens in the near future.
Yeah.
What would you do?
If I was with Guy.
Right.
With Guy, you know.
If you were Grant Whiteman, what would you do, Kelvin?
Well, if I'm Grant Whiteman, I think I'm gonna go into the car business, grandfather's business, you know. But if I'm Caleb, I'm out of here. Caleb, I'm out of here. I don't think he can. I mean, over 2,000 points.
Yeah, and one real quick, sorry, but the thing to think about is this is one of the weakest draft classes we're talking about this year. So we're talking about a class for the NBA that's not anything close to last year, and the year after, next year, is going to be crazy. So this might be strike while the iron's hot type of thing, too. That's another factor.
All right, if you're Pella?
I'm gone.
Go.
If I'm Pella, I'm gone as well, just because of what J-Dub said. I think he has aspirations to play in the NBA, and if he does, this, as far as getting drafted, this would be the better year. If I'm Barlow, man, that would just be the commitment of what I have from the coach. Or you gonna try to incorporate Grievous more and who's the other
Baysar.
Yeah. Are you gonna try to incorporate them more and start bringing them along, because that's gonna eat at my minutes.
Yeah.
So I would kind of want to know where coach is leaning toward, as far as that is concerned.
Tommy on his players with the 5th-year option.
Listen, we haven't even had those conversations. We're so focused on now that we're not there, and that's their right at that time to explore it. And I'll be here to support them with whatever decision they want. But we have not had one conversation on, what next year looks like for them. 100% we're focused on what it looks like for Arizona basketball right now.
And that's what you would expect to hear.
Yeah,
from
you
got
to love the consistency, right? I mean, it's not as if the message has changed ever. You win a game and you ask about the next game. We haven't had a chance to talk about think about the next game. We're worried about the game we just finished. So that's his consistent messaging is always about being in the moment.
All right, let's get a scouting report on the Oregon Ducks here.
Our 1290 scouting report is brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Follow out to Boswell. Quickly to Larson. Pella throw it inside for Johnson. Tipped away and stolen. Dante comes up with the ball for Oregon. To Shellstead. To Kuzgard. Lob it for Evans. He'll slam it home.
Bless you.
Thank you. Kwame Evans Jr. had a career-high 22 points in the win over the Oregon State Beavers on Wednesday night. 7 rebounds, 3 steals. He also had a block. Dana Altman said this young man is starting to heat up for his club.
If you notice, KJ's had trouble finishing at the rim because but tonight, man, his nose was going to the goal. He got to the free throw line more. He finished more. Did a tremendous job. Finishing plays at the rim, which he's struggled doing earlier. So really happy for him there. Missed that last rebound. He could have had a nice double-double, but no, he played really good, had some deflections. I think Mike said he had 10 deflections. So active on the defensive end, did a good job. So got a big block there too late. So good game for him.
Is there anything you would point to that just leads to this improvement, or is it just a freshman starting to figure things out?
Well, freshmen are a little, I mean that. So, you always kind of bite your lip and, try to let them play through some mistakes. But obviously you get this late in the season and you start to expect a little more from them. Jackson was playing really well and had a couple bad turnovers late. That's not like him. So, but, that's growth, and they're going to go through some ups and downs. But, both guys, played a lot of minutes. You get Jackson 36 and KJ at 30, so it's a lot of minutes.
Kwame Evans Jr., not bad for a guy that's only averaging 8 points to put up 22. He had a career-high 9 free throws in that ball game. He went 6 for 7 from the field in the contest against the Oregon State Beavers. You heard the coach mention he is a freshman out of Baltimore, Maryland, 6'9", 220 pounds. So Kwame probably figuring to be one of the premier players down the line for this club as they move forward into the Big Ten. And he said this week, talked about his strong finish to that game on Wednesday night.
I think I was just focused, like, on defense. Like, it starts with me on defense, so I got to be able to talk to everybody, just get stops. Like, we all got to talk and get stops, and then just playing within the game, getting shots here and there. They're looking for me, so I was knocking them down.
Coach was talking about how you finished more nose to the hoop, in particular tonight. When you're coming off the ankle injury, why tonight? What was it about tonight that allowed you to do that?
I think it just kind of clicked. Like he's been telling me for all year, like, I need to start going off 2 feet instead of one a lot. Like, I was missing around a lot of bunnies around the rim. So me going off 2 feet was just a lot stronger to the rim.
Well, and this is a team that's dealt with a lot of injuries this year, guys. We saw, obviously, the Bartholomew go down in the game against Arizona. A really tough injury to watch. But Kwame Evans Jr. got a lot of starts early in the season. Then he didn't start for a while when they kind of got healthy in the middle of the year. But now he's back starting again. And so a freshman, again, like we've seen, I think we've kind of categorized it more so on the women's side for Arizona, how the freshmen mature as the year goes on, and they begin to feel more comfortable at this level.
Yeah, the more playing time you get, you get out there and you get a chance to get comfortable. I mean, if you're not getting that much playing time in game, real action, your confidence is not going to be that high. But once you get out there and you get a chance to make mistakes and fix mistakes, you get better.
Yeah. Also from the Oregon side of things, Brennan Rigby is a young man who is starting to play much better defense for the Ducks, and he talked about what his coach wants from him at that end of the floor.
Me and him talked about just trying to be a little more aggressive. I don't for my type of athleticism, I don't have a lot of steals on the year, so he was just talking about, just trying to be more aggressive. You don't foul a lot, so you can kind of get up and trying to get a couple more steals. I definitely felt like I could get up a little more, and I felt like I used my athleticism to stay in front and make hard shots for.
Brennan Rigsby, again, had a pretty good ball game. The Ducks this year he's playing better defense, but they're also an undefeated team when he scores in double figures this year. They're 6-0. He is a junior, another one of those kind of well-traveled guys, played at Northwest Florida State College. Apparently, there's some pretty good junior colleges down there in Florida, because he's got this young man out of Northwest Florida State College. We mentioned Kario Kendo out of Florida Southwest Community College, and then he's got Jadrian Tracy out of Florida Southwestern Community College. So apparently Oregon's the place to be for Dana Altman.
To Coach Altman talking about biting his lip and letting freshmen play through mistakes, I was trying to think how many freshmen that dude has had, Coven. Right? I mean, it's like in his time there, he's been there 10, 12 years. Every year they bring in 2-3 transfers. That's what he does. So as far, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, they've definitely recruited. They've definitely had some freshmen in there. But for the most part, he's bringing veterans in who are trying to maybe, iron the wrinkles up out of their game as opposed to teaching them what college basketball is all about.
Rigsby scored 19 points in their win earlier this season over Michigan. Now, we've come to see Michigan's not very good, but...
And you speaking of Florida, the water. The water. You seen the athletes that come out of Florida? That's just bottom line. I think Coach is on to something.
Maybe indeed he is. All right, that's what Oregon's got on the table as they come in here to Tucson this afternoon.
That's today's 1290 Scouting Report, brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Don't forget, download our app. Stay engaged with everything that is happening, not only Arizona Wildcats, Pima College, Phoenix Suns, Arizona Coyotes lost again last night.
Was that 18?
15.
15.
Oh, come on now. Don't put them in that class.
It's been so long. It's a blur.
Yet. It's not been good for the Coyotes. But hopefully, things will get better. What was that song? Things will always. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I misspoke on that. The Coyotes actually won last night.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, they won 5-3.
You're just so used to them not winning.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the default.
I'm so used to them losing that I defaulted to the loss without actually. I was looking at the wrong thing. But they did win last night by a score of 5-3.
Woo-hoo.
So they do not match the longest losing streak in history. Dylan Gunther scored the tie-breaking goal. He started the season down here with the Tucson Roadrunners. So congratulations to the Coyotes for getting that win. Matias Maselli, who spent some time in Tucson, had a goal and 2 assists in the game.
You know, it wouldn't matter with that, 13, was it? 14. It wouldn't matter with the 14-game losing streak, DK, if they hadn't been, 24-15 when that started.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, they were having a very successful year before this slide.
Right. All right, we want to hear from the senior ladies at the University of Arizona. They are playing their final game here, and at least for 2 of those 3, it will definitely be their final game. As Mary Martinez and Helena Puello, along with Isis Bay, and you'll hear first from Helena Puello, 5 years in the program, a 5th-year senior who played all 5 here in Tucson, and what today is going to mean for her.
A lot of memories, of course. 5 years is a lot. But it's been really, really special every year. I learned so many things from Coach Adia, like Salvo, all the coaching staff. And I think I just proved not just as a player, but also as a person. So, it's just really special. I'm going to be sad. I don't want to think about it yet, but it's going to be really emotional for me.
I know you haven't made your decisions yet, or as far as we know, but what's senior day mean for you, not knowing, what's going on?
I'm excited because my whole family coming, like all my siblings are coming out, so I'm excited to, have all my siblings come watch me play.
And what's it been for you, this year to play with, Esmeri, Helena? You were a teammate of Ez's before, but to play with other experienced players like that, as well as the youngsters. What's so special about this year for you?
It's been really fun because I feel like Ez and Helena are the leaders of the team, and so it's fun playing with them because they're both just great players. And then it's also been fun with the younger girls because they've improved so much throughout the whole year.
So all 9 of the siblings are coming?
Yep.
Have all 9 seen you play?
It probably hasn't been since my sophomore year at high school. So I'm really excited for that.
Who's the loudest of the 9?
My dad's the loudest out of everybody. You'll hear my dad.
What is this journey? It's been a journey for you to get to Arizona. What has it meant to you to be a Wildcat?
Just this fan base is so fun to be a part of. Everyone truly loves you here. And my teammates, it's been really fun getting to know them and these coaches too.
Mary, when you were growing up in the Dominican Republic, could you have ever imagined you would be a National Player of the Week? And what is that honor?
No, of course not. Of course not. It's really answer for me. It's really, I'm happy for that. I know I'm working hard, and I know I can do and be better.
When you heard about that, was there somebody you called?
I don't really know what that means. I asked the coach, what's that mean? What I got, And she told me, I didn't know.
So as, you've been here for 2 years, you've gone through a lot, you've grown a lot. When you think back, what are your memories that flood back, and what do you think about your time here in Arizona?
Well, to be honest, I really had a good experience here. The people really support me a lot, and I love it from them. The coaches, the players really made me feel comfortable here. And looking back, I'm just glad to be here right now. I'm happy.
Who will you have family-wise here?
Yeah, I got a lot of family that come. I've been a lot of people from DR.
With the drums.
Yeah.
The DR, the Dominican Republic. So if you see a bunch of people wearing, I believe Esmeri's number is number 12. If you see a bunch of people wearing 12 shirts, banging conga drums, you'll know that is the family of Esmeri Martinez. And hopefully we're actually gonna be out on the mall, or well, not the mall, but we'll be out on the Hall of Champions, the Click Hall of Champions Plaza after the men's game, in between games for the post-game show. We'll also have extended coverage into the women's game. So we'll take you from the end of the men's game, wherever we get that, maybe around 2:45, 3 o'clock, all the way up to 5:45 with Derek Palmer's coverage of the women's game starting at that point, Arizona and UCLA.
Very much hoping that while I'm here in the studio and you guys are doing that I get to hear Ez's family pounding drums next to you guys. I'm hoping for that.
I hope we can track them down. I'm going to have the promo staff on that. Watch out for the folks with the drums. She was asking, she wasn't sure if they would be able to bring them inside. I don't know if they would allow them inside. You can do that down in the islands. I mean, if you've ever been
Europe too.
If you've ever been to a Winter League baseball game, I mean, it is a party. That's kind of how the whole Mexican baseball fiesta started here in Tucson, because they wanted to bring that party baseball atmosphere to the United States and to Southern Arizona. So, looking forward to and hope as Mary's folks have made it into town and are enjoying their stay here in Southern Arizona. All right, final timeout. We'll come back, give you our keys to the game, give you the starting lineup, and a little bit more. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show, along with Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way to Southern Arizona, and while we're hoping for a few more weeks of mild weather, we know extreme heat comes next. So right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. Not sure about your car's air conditioner? Need to check out that light on your dashboard? Or make sure your battery can make it through another summer? Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is here to help. With decades of experience here in Arizona and dozens of top shop awards for tires and automotive maintenance. And right now, save big on the brands you love, like Michelin, and get big rebates like $100 back on Cooper tires. Plus, buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper's new Pro Control Series tires. You can stack on even more savings when you pay with your Jack Furrier card. Check out jackfurriers.com for all the promotions and details, and even more money-saving coupons on top of our already low prices. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K, nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vail School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & K with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live. When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really matter, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
My heat and air work in a state of disrepair.
If there's a hot spot in your house, you may have leaky ductwork. The Department of Energy says 95% of homes do. Those leaks can pull in dirt and humidity. I'm Ron Arenas, the owner of Picture Rocks Cooling. Ask how we can tackle those leaky ducts and keep cool air in and dirt and humidity out with AeroSeal. Call Picture Rocks at 520-440-4069.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Boswell waits, stops, pops an open three. It's up and good for Kylan Boswell. He started the game hot. It's his second Lexus to Tucson Charity 3. Bradley down around a pick from Krivas. He'll jump it up for two and score it. Timeout ASU.
Comfort zone. Arizona offensively in their comfort zone.
Well, you'd like those two point guards to continue their play. Sophomore Kylan Boswell averaging 11 points and 3 assists over the last 9 games. That's going back to the first meeting against the Oregon Ducks on January the 27th. Jaden Bradley, also a sophomore. How about 20 assists to just 4 turnovers in the last 8 games, or the 8 games during the month of February? That's 5-1. Assist to turnover right there for Jaden Bradley in the month of February. Those two guys we mentioned early in the show were on the floor together at times at the end of the game, primarily in that contest up at ASU. And they spoke about their seniors we've mentioned all throughout the show, the 5 seniors that'll be honored today.
I love each and every one of them. Been working out with Caleb every single day. Me and Keishad have gone closer and closer. And then, of course, me and Umar and Pella, we already played last year. Our bond's growing. And then especially with Grant, actually me and him kind of way closer since last year to now. It's just kind of funny to me in my head, but I love each one of them.
How has Keishad and Caleb impacted this team, even though they've only been here for 1 year and they're going to be graduating very soon?
Excited for those guys. Great leaders. They came from great programs and they been to the highest games and played in a tough game. So bringing that, that energy and intensity and pouring it into everybody.
We mentioned just the legacy, obviously, of this program and Senior Day and talking about some of those guys. And this group now will be the next group of men that will leave with the potential to come back. And Pelle Larsson talked a little bit about that this week. Former players coming back here to this program and hoping to be that inspiration for the next generation of Wildcats.
I think it's grown with us, I think Tommy has done a great job kind of bringing former players into it with us, and we've gotten to meet so many good people that have come before us, and that really built a deeper connection for us and for them. So I think that part of the culture has really grown and become stronger. And then also hopefully we become that next layer of foundation for, guys coming in next year and the guys that are already here that keep building. So hopefully, one day they'll say that, all right, these guys built this for us. We got to cherish it and keep building.
How's that sound, Kelvin?
Man, I was just talking to DK about that earlier, man. I said, Tommy's done an amazing job, especially with you bringing transfers in and everything like that. You want to make sure the guys understand the culture and the history. And to bring those guys in, what was the mentoring thing that I had never heard of that before, where you had the mentors of the former players, coming in, talking to the guys, giving every guy, a guy to, look up to or talk to or whatever. I just think that's an amazing job because one thing, if you can build a connection with the city, with the school, and with the former players, you play harder. You play harder. You play for the name on the front of the chest. How are you going to play for the name on the front of the chest? Coach Olsen used to always say that. You play for the name on the front of the chest. How are you going to do that if you don't know the history? If you don't get to talk to the guys? I always said that about football. Like, I used to love Coach Tomey used to do that all the time. He brought everybody in. And that's one of the things that I'm excited to get back to. It ain't always got to be the biggest stars because every guy's not going to be in the NFL or the NBA. It has to be guys that put in that work.
Yeah.
So when guys go back and they can look them up and they're like, oh, man, he was that good? You know, and man, he didn't, possibly he didn't make it to the NBA, but man, look how he's respected. And so I just think that just is huge. To me, that's one of the best things that Tommy has done for this group right here is getting that together. And I'm sure he's going to continue that because I didn't hear that last year. Did you hear anything about that last year? No, I didn't. And so, yeah, man, I just think it's amazing, man, that, what he's done because I just keep hearing those guys regurgitating what he says all the time. When you hear that, you got a good team.
To your point, like when the Warriors were in the building, right? And he's like, yeah, Steve was there. That was fine and all. But Bruce Frazier was there, and that was awesome. It's like you're talking about the stars, but hey,
I mean, and you just go back to that NBA weekend when, JB was in the house, Joseph Blair was here, and it was just there was a number of alums that came through, and Tommy just said, yeah, the locker room was filled after the game. There was the Wildcats everywhere, and just to have that type of camaraderie across the board with those guys, and it started at the very beginning, getting Channing and Richard Jefferson to bring the road show here for the red-blue game, and it just, again, it has continued all throughout this season, and I'm sure we'll see some guys in Vegas. I mean, in the past we've seen those guys.
And you hear a players program, you hear all those different things and whatnot, but when the players are actually here, because a lot of programs, the players don't come back.
Yeah.
The players don't. I mean, one of the greatest things that I used to love was the players used to come back. I got to play against Steve Kerr in the summers, right? All those guys used to come back. Damon Stoudemire, Khalid, those guys come back, and you get to compete against them, guys that you look at as like legends or whatnot. So, no, it's just huge, man. And that's something that hopefully the football team incorporates a little bit.
All right, let's find out what the Wildcats have to do to win today.
Wildcats fans, our keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
Kelvin Efon, how did the Cats get this one done?
Well, I think Ballo has to continue to play well inside to keep Dante in check. I think him playing well offensively puts pressure on Dante, possibly gets him in foul trouble. I think we have to guard the three-point line. Oregon has basically everybody except for Dante basically shoot threes, and I think that has been an Achilles heel for Arizona. So you definitely got to get up and take away that three-point line. And then I said, take care of the ball. I still think Oregon is the team that if they can get into transition, they got the type of athletes that could finish easily, finishing at the rim and hitting threes. So I think you want to take care of the ball and limit those opportunities for them.
J.W. Madden.
Yeah, same. I think the matchup between Ballo and Dante has decided these matchups between Oregon and Arizona these last 4 years. So you got to take care of business down there. I think Ballo's going to definitely show up with his 9th consecutive double-double, is it? And to me, the biggest key is head and ball fake to success. Oregon's super aggressive defensively, lead the Pac-12 in blocks. As per the usual, they always do that under Altman. So make sure that you head fake, ball fake those guys up in the air and find the open man. And number 3, the Pac-12 title's on the line, guys. So this is going to be a really emotional day for these seniors and everybody else involved with the program. Overcome that emotion, get down to business, just play Arizona basketball, take it to those guys. First 5 minutes might be a little bit sloppy, but I expect the Cats to focus and get their mind in the game and know what's on the line because we're coming down the home stretch. Those are my keys.
Well, I'll take it a little bit further. When you said head fake, ball fake to get yourself to the line as well, because when the Wildcats are at the free throw line, they're a very strong ball club, and I want to see the guards play well today. I want to see. I think again, that's what's going to be what leads this team. I think over the course of the next 6 weeks. So you want to see continued solid play from Kylan Boswell, off the bench from Jaden Bradley and KJ Lewis. And then you know what you're going to get because he's been the most consistent guy out there all season, Caleb Love. So consistent guard play will be key for the Arizona Wildcats, I think, today, for them to finish things off right and get a home win on Senior Day.
Wildcats fans, that's our keys to the game. Brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, we're taking you right up to 11 o'clock here today. A few more minutes to go as we get you set for Arizona and Oregon at McKale Center. And real quickly, do we have time for this this cut here, J-Dub? Let's hear from Balo, Pella, and Keshad on games that stand out in their memory here at U of A.
Run in Maui, unfortunately, with the but that weekend that was something that really will stick with me for the rest of my days because it was such a great environment and got to play against one of the best teams in the nation and also winning the championship. That was something that would stick with me for a long time.
I'd say it's a couple. Like every team that me and I've played with here has been so different, so it's hard to like even compare and choose one. So I'd say there's a couple each year when we made the tournament for the first time, and Maui last year, and we've had great memories this year too at different arenas, and hopefully they'll only get better. So,
for me, I'll say preseason Michigan State game. We were still fresh as a group, but I feel like that solidified our brotherhood. That game coming out with that win, and also the Wisconsin game. Those two games, everybody was just locked in. We've been locked in all year from there, but that was our foundation right there.
The foundation of a great college basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rockin' K, a master plan community designed by nature.
Yeah, foundation, popular word there. Starting lineup, we don't know it for sure, but we're going to say Grant Whiteman at one guard, the senior, 6'4", 205 out of South Point Catholic, 7 points and 7 rebounds this season. Caleb Love, senior, 6'4", out of St. Louis, shooting a career best 36% from 3. Pella Larson, senior, 6'5", out of Nacka, Sweden, 977 career points at Arizona. At one forward, Keshad Johnson, senior, out of Oakland, California, 982 career points on his college life. And the man in the middle, senior, Umar Balo, Kulakoro Mali, 11th in the country in field goal percentage. That wraps up our show. For Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. Coming up next, number 6 Arizona versus Oregon on Senior Day. Bear down, Arizona.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Graham Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Designed by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control.
Cool Willie's Air